Gangster. 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 Gangster.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, it's the Gangsta Hippy podcast with your boy Ricky Licks. My co-host Buckers the Reelers.
What up?
We got Liu behind the ones and twos. Well, go on, Liu.
Yep.
There you go. And today it's a pleasure to welcome our special guest, fellow EA musician, my brother, Case.
Say no more.
Well, go on, bro.
I'm good, bro. What's good? Leo, you get an air, bud? How we doing though, people? How we doing?
Yeah, bro.
Good.
So you was always going to be one of the first people we got on edge, you know what I mean? So we're working our way through all the legends, do you know what I mean? And yes, it's a blessing to have you on there, bro. And
I respect it and I appreciate you, and then I appreciate the fact you got me here because you know how I don't like talking about myself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought it was going to be a sticky one still. Getting you involved, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm hoping to do justice because I've seen the ones you've done before.
Yeah.
So good.
And there were some good ones.
Yeah, and I was gonna get you on there. We was gonna get you on there with like another producer, do you know what I mean? I was thinking about getting you on there with Measy or something like that, but then that would be an injustice to you and to him. I'd rather get you both on there separately, and do you know what I mean?
I respect that and I appreciate that. But Measy's me, so it's like I would have never complained if he was here with me.
Yeah.
Because you got right. Me and him have had a competition. We had a little battle for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Every time I hear one of his beats,
Yeah.
That's it. Every time I hear one of his, it's one of those like I gotta go back.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and work on my shit
That's
again.
how it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
And you've both achieved
over the years, do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. And like he's the first person I took the album to that I'm working at the moment. He's the first one I said I need you to listen to this, and
That's dope.
because I respect his ear is in Norwich. I don't care when.
And just when you two was getting comfortable, Liu comes out of nowhere
Lee just
to keep you both on your toes.
I tell you what,
the
first beat I heard of Lee, I was like, okay, we're in trouble here. The youngers are here.
The amount of people that called when I first started linking with Liu, we call him Lee, like Liu. Yeah. What's Lee saying anyway? I forget it. Just call him fucking Lee.
Thing is, like, it's easy to do that, but when you hear his music, you're like, nah, it's Liu. It ain't Lee. It's Liu.
You know what I mean?
Give him the respect that he deserves,
Like,
bro.
And like respectfully to everyone.
Put some respect.
What is great about everyone that we just talked about there, like yourself, the Measy, all completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the magic
Like,
of what
completely
we've done.
different to me. Anyway, when I listen to it as a rapper,
Yeah.
like everyone's completely different.
Yeah.
I guess you get when you come in as a rapper, you're feeling different flows and vibes from each one of us.
Yeah, like.
But that's the thing. Like me and Me's, you can sometimes hear a bit of Me's production in my music where I've just been infatuated with
course.
what he
Yeah.
does.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
You know?
I've had beats on my phone. What someone sent me. I'm thinking, who sent me that beat? I've been to you. Is that your beat?
Yeah,
You
you've
know what
asked
I
me.
mean? Like,
that's
But,
dope though, isn't it? Inspiring each other, I suppose, in the same city is a fucking
yeah, no, we've
real cool
we've-
thing.
We've been blessed over the years with talented producers. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, when
But,
did
let's take it back anyway. So, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from the London, like from the outskirts of London. So when I came up here, it's like I was
So, what part? What area did you grow up when you was young?
little place called Hillingdon.
Hillingdon. Yeah.
Hillingdon was like because that's the main part of where my main life happened. Obviously, I was little places before, but I was like 4, 5, 2 years, 3 years with my mum and dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hillingdon was when I spent there for like 10 years. And that was, I'm telling you now, I had no inkling that I wanted to do music when I was in London.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I left London, I was like, hold on, I quite like this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, growing up in London actually prepared me for being able to do music.
So when did you come to Norwich?
2008.
Hold up.
2007, sorry.
I was going to say,
2007.
I met you in 2007.
Well, that late.
I
That
didn't
late.
realise
I
when
thought
I,
you've been in Norwich for years.
all these years, I didn't
No.
realise that when I met you,
Yeah.
you'd just come then.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
literally, when you met me, I must have been in that studio for about 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
There was a bit of a sticky
That's
one
mad,
still.
'cause that's
What
made-
was one of the beats you give me? Hadn't you give it to Tea Leaves?
I
for
gave
something?
it.
Was it Angels?
That's a story. Angels. I gave you Angels because I was getting sick and tired of another artist, like you said, Tea Leaves. I was getting sick and tired of nothing happening to it. And then when I remember the first day I gave it to you, you were just doing some little rhyming things over the top. And I left it. We left it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you
yeah.
came back. I can't remember if I was
And
recording you.
yeah,
I recorded you and I was like, oh, we might have to play this in front of Tea Leaves.
yeah. So big up Tea Leaves.
Big up, yeah.
Big
'cause
up
that was
Zara Jones.
one of the first people.
So
I
the
picked
first
up.
track we done was Angels,
Angels.
and that was on as you say, it was on a track where Tea Leaves had already touched, but then obviously whatever that beat was still kind of sitting there, and we done that. You know,
Just
what I mean?
imagine if he had touched that. Imagine if would this have ever happened? Would we have ever linked? This is
That's
what
I'm saying.
sometimes you just
You
got to
guys
look
have
back.
made
Can you
tunes.
remember? Can you remember the Remo Skiller video? Know
Yes.
Your Mark.
Yes, that is when
Because I remember chatting to you there, innit? Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it was around that time, innit?
we had just finished the tracks because I remember we went
Yeah, yeah.
outside the back of the video shoot where everyone
We
had
was
the
talking
break.
about. Remember that?
Yeah, we
yeah,
were talking about it, and then we played the track in front of everybody.
yeah.
That's when I was like, "This is the guy.
Do you
This
know
is
what
my
I mean?
guy."
Yeah.
Because you were like, everybody was there. Chile, Remo, Zara, like Norwich music was just about getting there at the
Mate, the
moment.
amount of times I've seen people look at Ricky Dix and go, "That's the guy."
Bruv, these
He
times,
does no, but he shows it down. Do you know what I mean?
these times here, when I met you, bruv,
Yeah.
I had thousands, and I mean, I'm not exact. I had thousands of bars, as you know.
Yeah.
I'd come to a studio session with
A
do you know what I mean?
Bible,
folders,
an actual
I'm talking thick
like.
folders, years worth of bars. So no matter what beat,
And there's me.
yeah, I got something for that. I got multiple things for
Yeah.
that. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And
Of course.
there's me used to working with artists who's like, let me take that away for 3 months. Let me take that away for 6 weeks. And then he comes in and he's like, oh, let me just check my book quickly.
Yeah, bang, bang, bang.
And then boom.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes later, we've got a track. And I'm like, oh, yeah, like I said, that's the guy. All right.
So, boom, you moved to Norwich in 2007.
Yeah.
Did you not start making beats until you came to Norwich?
Yeah. Well, the first beat I ever made was 2006.
Right.
So, and I only made that. My story of how I come into music is weird, honestly, right? It comes out of ego. Because I went around a friend's house who was he's been making beats for like 5 years by that point. And he showed me a beat that he made. And my ego was like, I can do better than that.
Yeah.
So I went home, downloaded the program, made a beat, and I was like, yo, this is nice. This is cool. This is this might be what I want to do. Moved to Norwich a year later. And by that time, I'd already like not mastered, but I already found a way to get just not just beats out, to just get a little distinct K sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Because from 2007 up to 2012, it was me, you, and a good little group of people. And it was just, all right, let me just start making beats. And eventually,
So what were you using early days? Like,
I started using Fruity Loops was the first
so
program.
because
It's because it's easy to get to. It's easy to get.
it's not a bad thing. I was like, I always remember you just using anything.
I used to.
Like
Yeah,
having a little Marshall amp. Do you know what I mean? You go to some people's house and everything's like perfect. You just have it.
I just have anything.
But never it's good enough.
Yeah, because
Do you know what I
for
mean?
me, because when my music teacher, because I went to music college when I went to came to Norwich,
Mm.
I went to Access to Music, done a couple of done my MVQ there, and I
Mm.
remember when it came to going to uni, my teacher said, "Don't just go straight into the studio, just go straight into work. You don't
Well, that's
need
what I
uni."
done. Yeah.
That's what that helped me figure out. Okay, I don't need to do things the same way as everyone else does. So when you come to mine, and instead of seeing a pristine PC with some good old screen, I was using my normal TV and my laptop with no screen, you know.
yeah.
And we were making.
Yeah, I remember these times, bro.
Yeah.
Of
So,
course.
because then, like my teacher always taught me, like when you find someone who just enjoys making music, don't ruin it for them. Don't tell them to go do it all this way and that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Just let them find their own way, and then eventually, luckily, I found my own way, and that was through working with you, working with Buckers, working with Zara, working with other people from London, Cambridge, and I think it was. I remember Star Trekking.
Of course, I remember stuff.
That track, I
Yeah.
still go back to that track, and I hope we
Yeah.
play it at some point. But that
Yeah.
track is when I remember sitting down with one of my bosses at the studio, Will Wilson. Big up Will Wilson.
Big up, Will.
I remember sitting down with him when I after playing in that track, and I was like, I found a sound here. I found my sound.
Yeah.
And that was when came to you with that beat. I was like, this is something different. And then you
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah,
we don't need a verse.
yeah, yeah.
And that was when the music like really kicked off for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all mad, bro. I mean, think how many songs we've done. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
God.
you're talking hundreds,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I couldn't even
I've been
imagine
on
how many
over,
songs.
I reckon I've been on over 10 or something.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, a lot.
Just a beat.
Like, I just released
Well,
my
you got another
79th
one, right?
project. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
And most of my production over the years has been from you. A lot of Measy, Sacred.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
like you
But with you, we have been from. Do you know what I mean?
from
the
Angels. I don't
start.
think we've stopped.
Yeah.
From Angels, I don't think there's been a year where we haven't made.
let's talk about the movement. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, boom, we
the album, yeah.
linked. It's now 07,
Yeah.
and then going into 08, 09, we built the antisocial thing. Do you know what I
Yes,
mean?
antisocial
Me,
movement.
You, Zara, and we was the main three.
There's a trio, yeah.
Zara was the singer, the pretty face in the situation. I was kind of like
You're the rapper.
my position, the organizer, getting
Yeah.
all the rappers, and you was the main producer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, we had Norwich on lock. Do you know what I mean?
It
I
was.
mean, at one point there was like 30 different people. I would say were antisocial, from like producers, rappers, singers,
writers.
everything. Do you know what I mean? And the events were becoming popular. You know, we do events at media and stuff like that.
I mean, you get people coming down from London to Norwich, which is the opposite of what you'd think.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah.
think a lot of artists would try and go down to London, but we would get people from London, Birmingham, Manchester to come to your nights.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like, oh, we're putting on a night for BBC. No, this is an anti-social event.
Yeah.
And we are getting people. We're getting people from all across the entirety of the country. And there was a moment there where the movement was, it was serious. It was like,
Yeah, I
real.
mean, there's been a couple times that period there, and obviously the music lessons period, when I feel like you're on that thing of you with the right opportunity at this moment now.
Yeah.
You could take it to that next level. Do you know what I mean? Where you like, do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you get, but that's where I was like, without the music lessons and the antisocial, I wouldn't have been able to go freelancing and do my own stuff, because a lot of those things was like where you go into a studio with a label and they ask you what you done, what kind of
And
stuff.
you've actually got loads of songs.
Not just that, I'd be like, this is the performances.
Yeah,
These are the nights that they do. So I got a lot of my opportunities
That's big.
from you guys performing the tracks that we were doing. So
Yeah.
It's never you can't.
This is when you actually used to make a rare appearance out in clubs
Yeah.
and all that. When you'd actually,
I mean, there'd be once.
you'd actually show your face. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
trying to get case out was always
Yeah,
Do you know
difficult.
what
of
it- do you know what
course.
it is? I think I got to a point where I was like, I don't like it's an ego thing again. It's like I don't need to be out there no more because I was never one of those people who was like an outsider person. I was never one of those clubbing all every week and being social. I was happiest in the studio.
Yeah.
I was in my element. It's like it's like
And
a
you are
37.
one of the biggest sort of influencers on hip hop about people like I say, not seeing. You know what I mean? I know you're happy just being where you're being.
That's how I've like been able to be comfortable with what I do and what I like how life has gone without having my name out there. Because there are tracks that I've worked on that are like, all right, how? But you sign certain contracts, you're like, I don't need to be there because you talk to other artists, and you're like, I've talked to one of the scariest stories I had is 2016 when I was working in Cambridge, and it was an independent artist who just got signed, and all of a sudden he was like, my mum can't go out without people saying, my sisters can't go out, my friends, and I was like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that. And I've already been not going out to like clubs and like performances. There was like festivals I was invited to. Like, nah,
Yeah.
nah, not my cup of tea. Just go to the track of Good Justice.
Boy, festivals are a commitment.
That's what I mean.
They're
You
a
can't be there for an hour. Like
You should go.
Festivals
I've
are a
been.
commitment.
I was invited to
Festival.
I was invited to Latitude in
I've
2000.
I've left part of my soul at certain festivals.
I'm
And
not
you don't
gonna
even
lie.
mean
Yeah.
In Ghost, I was baptized.
You don't even mean to.
Big up anyone
I
that
was
saw
the guy that
that was there.
You were-
Symmetry. When was it? 2015.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Symmetry 2015.
That
I'd
was
say
nuts.
It's above.
But I remember
We'd need a whole
stories.
podcast just on.
I was
that.
gonna say, I remember the stories are coming out of that. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, how are you guys still standing?
We'd need a
No,
whole
but then also,
podcast.
what,
We could
like,
write a
it's
book
also
about that
great
one
to do
festival.
good things.
It's one of those ones.
No,
where-
that was a mad thing, no doubt.
But you see how
Even for myself, like
you see how crazy it is in festivals.
Yeah. No, I get it. Do you know what I mean? It's a commitment festival and going out and all that. And I don't go out like I used to. Do you know what I mean? So I can see why it's
no,
like,
but we don't do it enough for hip hop. I don't think. Like
I think
people
we
will
do.
happily like,
I think
and I do like myself. I'll happily go and do this or do that, and it's not like a hip hop thing.
no.
And I do think like, if we just all just got together a little bit more
But the thing is, Norwich
you can make like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
why not
yeah.
have a big
it's
old
tough
summer
when
jam?
people get older and they
Why
got
not have a
jobs
big old
and
summer jam in the
families and-
barbecue? Like, why not?
It's
'Cause you
harder
can do that.
now. It's like you said, it's harder now because we're a bit older and everyone's kind of like gone their separate ways. Where that's why I don't really work with a lot of Norwich artists anymore because a lot
But
of
I'm
them
happy
are.
to organise the get together, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's also about can people.
Yeah,
do
come
it?
on, we're doing that.
we're
Fucking
doing a
Gangsta Hippy, we're gonna start putting on events again. We got some special things coming this year. We got some. I'm not even gonna drop no names or nothing at this precise second, but Gangsta Hippy's gonna and I expect to see
It's
you
David
there,
Bowie,
Case.
I will
I expect
I will-
to be seeing you in the flesh. Pause.
Yeah, I will
And-
definitely show my face at least.
Yeah.
At least.
So going back to the movement, obviously, bam, that was a period in time,
Yeah.
when that could have bust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went to prison
Yeah.
when we was really like to the point where when I got nicked, the boxes of CDs have like just arrived at Zara's. Do you know
That's
what I
it.
mean?
The movement.
The album was ready.
Yeah.
So all this hard work we've done, and then bam, one mad night, and then do you know
That's
what I
how
mean?
quick it can change, though.
And Antisocial just fell apart without me there. Do you know what I mean?
Without you there, without the chief, the leader there to be like, all right,
Yeah.
like not delivering people, telling people to do certain things, and like, and it just like it comes into chaos.
Do you
And
know? Do you know how deep it was, bro? I could if I was watching. Obviously, I'm sitting in jail on my mom. Even if like a hip hop type beat or something came on
Yeah.
an advert, I just press mute. I couldn't listen
That's
to
kinda
music.
hard.
You got to think there's people in there. Yo, Licks, what's happening? Spit about. I was like, don't
But
talk
remember-
about
it was-
music.
Just to clarify, so the antisocial,
Yeah.
who would you like? You know, so it was you two,
me, Case, and Zara,
and then it just built from
and
there.
then you had Treebs, Sacred,
okay,
Dan Slang.
You had a couple of my London,
that, like
yeah.
You had a couple of London people.
Watch. There was so many. I feel bad for some of the names I know I forgot, but there was a lot of us. Do you know what I mean? Creeper Dan.
Yeah.
Do you know
there was a few like
Mo,
things.
come on.
Mo, like that's what I mean. You can't forget about. Like, there's certain people that did.
Cool. I was just saying, like,
Yeah. No, it was a good time. Do you know what I mean?
You got
everything happens for a reason, and then bish bosh.
Literally, as you were saying when you were inside, I remember I came in just a little bit after you.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to say that. I didn't
no,
blow you up on fit, but yeah.
because
and
it's
then
part
you
of
came
life.
in, and then he came in, and then
because
you know what I mean? We're all just there, like, well, because antisocial's in there now.
Because it's literally part of the journey. Because literally, I came in, and I was literally the same as you for the first 2-3 weeks. I was like, don't even come to me about music. I don't want to. If I can't tie it, touch it, do it. Don't touch me. And then all of a sudden, I started going to those education things, and they were like, we're doing music things, and I started teaching music in the prison, and that's what again got me back into it, because like I said, seeing you in there, I was like, oh my days, it's all gone downhill. Yeah. And then being in there, but then it was literally there, the music education part in the prison. I'll never forget the teacher there, Miss Brown. Like she was literally like, you should help me teach the music because I don't know how to use the programs properly, and I'm just I'm like, yeah, sure, cool. Yeah. So every day in the prison, I was like, doing music. I made beats in the prison that we used outside. Yeah. That was like that's how it's like that's how much I knew. Mate, I ain't leaving this music stuff. Yeah. Like as much as I can be angry at myself, like how I am, I'm in prison. It's cool. I still got music. Yeah, I still got that. And how much I hate it right now, so I can't do it. All
right, so on that kind of like, you live music, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you always have done, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, regardless of music, Yeah,
regardless of genre.
Yeah, anything. I know you as my brother, do you know what I mean? So I spend time with you are always in front of your computer, no matter where I pop around. You're always making a beat. You've always got millions of new, you're just non-stop relentless with it.
Even if you're recording music, he's got a film on and silent.
Yeah. How do you feel if you don't have music?
Lost.
How do you feel? I mean, what's the longest period? Because I've been on a period over the last year where I ain't done that much. For you, what's a long period of not doing music? An hour?
I'm gonna be dead serious with you. Like there are times where I force myself to walk away from music for 3-4 days. Because it gets to a point where I've figured out when I was like 26, if I had done music non-stop from the age of 20 to 26, non-stop, every day, every week, no matter what, whether I was still unemployed, because I got my first contract at 25. I was still doing free shit, like up to a year later, because I was like, I can't get away from it. But then you realize when I got to 27, I got to a point where I was not angry at the music I was making, but I was just not satisfied. And I figured out it's because I got to a point in my head where, because I was doing it every day, the level of what I thought I needed to get to, I couldn't get there. Yeah. Because I was always pushing it up. And every time I didn't reach it, I depressed myself. So rather than getting to that point, it's now to the point where it's like, you know what? After 2 weeks of doing non-stop music, 3 days off. No matter what.
So,
are you saying that by trying to like make a banger, a commercial track, like this is the track that's gonna, do you know what I mean? By doing that, you lose a bit of the enjoyment.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing it, just like, I'm gonna make a dope beat. I don't give a fuck.
You don't care.
Just so I can show my friends. Like,
you could take 3 days on that beat and you don't care because you're just doing it for love. But when someone's paying you to do something, because it's not just, if I don't do it in time, they don't get their music. It's if I don't do it in time, they don't get their music, then they don't get the placement they're looking for, then they don't get the contract they were looking for. So it's a stress upon stress upon stress upon stress.
Do you think you kind of also end up using your good ideas
for the commercial stuff
to do the commercial thing?
Yeah, always.
You'd actually that good idea originally would have been more thought. You know what I mean?
Before
your idea would have been. It might be not as commercial, but like
before I
figured out a
really
good idea to make it commercial, if you know what I mean.
Before I figured out the whole take a break thing, it was I need to use my best ideas for the commercial side because they're the ones that are paying me. They're the ones that are making sure I've got a roof over my head and paying the bills and stuff like that. So I've got to give them the best. Got to give them the best. But then you realize why.
Actually,
They don't care. Well, once I give it to them, they're not going to call me and be like, "Oh, it sounds sick." Oh,
Yeah.
You give it to them, it's a transaction. So then you realize, and once you start taking breaks, you're thinking they'd be happy with kind of the mid stuff, as long as you obviously put your all into it. But
shit that sounds hip hop.
Yeah, like you start realizing, like, if someone's asking, if a label's asking for, I need a hip hop track that sounds like a 1995 track from Biggie. You start thinking, all right, nowadays, where I used to be like 2 weeks of, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Now it's just, I'm going to take 2 days off. I'm going to start listening to every track that Biggie did in 95, 96, every single track. And then after those 2 days, you spend another 2 days without listening to a single track, anything, any music. You just going on about your day, doing a little emails and stuff like that. And then a day out, and then you get to a point where you've taken in as much as you can. And rather than doing it immediately after you're taking it in, you're going to copy something. You take 2 days or 3 days to just get it in your own head. And that's how I make some of my own sounds. Like, I'm not going to say I'm not influenced by others.
You saying the gap?
The gap is, for me, the key. The gap is where I take the sample and then merge it into what I think it should sound like. So then I don't have to use that sample.
So a gap in days.
Yeah, a gap in days.
In them days.
So it's like,
that's when you think about the sample.
Yeah, that's when you think about. So if they want it to sound like what I've just heard over the last 2 days, how can I make it sound like that, but in my own way?
Okay.
So then you start taking bit by bit. Oh, if I do the drums like this, oh, you know what? If I get the guitarist to play like this and it's gonna sound like Biggie, but it ain't gonna be Biggie. It's gonna have that vibe.
Thing without, like, I know, obviously we all know each other. Do you know what I mean? We can't get away from that. And like, one thing I loved about Case, it was like you go around there and he's just ready. He's just got like mad drums on the go. Do you know what I mean? Like, with, you know, whether it's fruity, whatever.
Yeah, I've been just, I pop
absolutely.
like, I come to Case's house. Do you know what I mean? And his eyes are like that, and he's been up all night. I'm like, bruv, go to bed. You know what I mean? But he's just in some mad Beethoven zone, fucking.
We've got there, and it's just like suddenly he's with one sample, and me and you are just like bang.
Yeah.
You know?
Because when you enjoy it, like Lee, you can talk about this, but when you enjoy it, you can make a banger in 20 minutes.
Of course you can. Yeah.
Like, if most of the times when people are coming around, I'm creating an environment for you to walk into. So when you walk into, the times when you walk in where I've got this shit ready, but I've got a movie on mute, I've chosen that movie for a specific reason.
Yeah,
I'm making sure that, like, okay,
But I remember that.
Yeah.
I've come around to record.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what are we recording today?
It's that dark,
bang,
bit of a horror film.
Yeah,
because light-hearted. We'll have friends
comedy
in the background.
Just,
you know what I mean?
To keep, because sometimes when you're not recording. Because sometimes when you're not recording, you always forget. You lose that vibe. So when you stop recording and you see something.
Think about it, hip hop itself, like its origins in terms of, like, obviously it was turntables.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's all just simple.
It is just.
You know what I mean?
Like, you see someone.
It is just.
That's it.
Banging the table. Do you know what I mean? Just kick a freestyle.
To me, hip hop ain't music. To me, hip hop is the feeling.
Yeah.
If you feel like, I can find hip hop in a country track. That's how evil genius I get sometimes when we're like, oh my days.
I don't think you're an evil genius. I think you're absolutely correct.
But in my way, like, you have to be a mad scientist to be able to go into a country track and be like, hey yo, they're the 808 tracks from Kanye's thing.
Yeah.
Or you listen to it, oh, you know what, that melody comes from a Justin Timberlake R&B track. Like, you start listening to these things. But funny thing is, you ask me you play a song to me, you're like, who's this? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't keep the information of who he is. I just keep the information.
That's for the people that collect all vinyl. And, like, I have people come up to me in the pub and they're like, hey, have you heard this band? I'm like,
probably.
No idea. I've been listening to Slide.
That's like when I first started listening to hip hop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cassette tapes and all that. Someone's give you a cassette tape. You've got some dope. They even know who these people are.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Just some old New York West Coast. Do you know what I mean? Like old New York mixtape with just some random. You might recognize one or two of the MC.
Yeah, the voices.
Even a Funk Flex mixtape or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got all these. don't even know half these rappers, but I just knew this was dope.
You felt that.
Nowadays,
You need to be told.
we know what they had for breakfast this morning. The artists.
That's it. And then
we know everything about them.
And you got, and this is
You know
why.
what I mean? But back then there was some mystery about.
Back then, you only heard what was good because it only came. That's the only good stuff came on the radio.
I don't know about that.
No, but like, majority.
I don't actually know about that.
Majority of the times, only the stuff that was getting pushed properly was going to get on the radio. Now you go on your phone. I can listen to any single artist I want.
Yeah,
Anybody.
Yeah.
So that to me, obviously, kind of destroyed the music scene in a sense, because it is now, as much as it is good that anybody can make music, anybody.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but then you still
good that people are being creative.
You know what I mean?
I will never tell anybody not bad in terms of it's not even diluting for me. It's bad in terms of the wrong things are getting pushed. So you can have me and you know. we have a little pause.
I just want to go for piss if that's all right.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, just get up and go.
Okay.
Yeah, so just keep going or yeah, just keep going. So me and
oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. Me and Casey are gonna keep it moving. Frenchie. What?
So it's like, what were we chatting? What was just chatting about there?
Well, Bucky's on a mad one.
I've already forgot what we were chatting about.
He's lost. Look, it's all gone. He's smashing the place up. Hey, watch Candy, because Candy's about somewhere as well.
Yeah, be careful, it's stepping.
But
music-wise, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so you're saying like...
I'm saying it's
the fact that everyone can make music.
Yeah, but
bad thing.
It's not. Like I've said, I've had people come into studios, and this is where people like told me you're harsh, though. You're just too harsh. People have come in the studio, paid like 50 quid for an hour to record. They've recorded the first 5 minutes. I'm like, here's your money back. Come back in a year. Go back and practice because I don't want. But this is what I mean.
Get out.
No, not even get out.
You're shit. Get out of my studio.
I've only had to do that
That's
4
your money back.
No, I've only had to do it 4 times. But each one of those 4 times,
quarter and break that up because you're in the wrong game.
No, each time they always come back a year later and they were better.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to be like, oh, let's just take your money and just record a track. Like, no, to me, it's an ego thing again. Like, I'm recording you.
Yeah.
So you're gonna put recorded by da. So I'm gonna be known for that.
Yeah.
And there are professional tracks out there that I've been part of that nobody knows I've been part of.
Yeah.
So for me, it always comes down to if your stuff is out there, what people are going to think, like, what are people going to view it, how they're going to view it. So for me, if somebody isn't as comfortable or as confident as they are in their music, I'd rather help them get to the point where they're confident.
Yeah.
Not better, not even just better, just more confident,
yeah.
so they can deliver it. And then I'd be like, release that. I've had last year, I had an artist who wasn't a rapper, singer, or anything. He was just a producer. I won't say their name, but not the greatest producer. And they said that to me, I'm here to get better.
Yeah.
Bro, within a year, that guy was making stuff that I was like, can I sample that?
Yeah.
And it was just for me saying, just don't pay me for now. Let's just get better.
You've got to be cruel to be kind.
No, yeah. It's just I know where you want to be.
So like, I know, do you know what I mean? Back in the day, I'd want to jump on everyone's shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm blessed that you're hollering at me for a feature. Do you know, like,
that's
whatever.
Right.
But then some of the tracks I'd get sent to me. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, can I put myself on this?
Yeah. So
can I put my mark on this? Can this say feature and Ricky?
That's
you know what I mean? Because that person ain't quite ready. So it's a sticky one.
It's
still.
A sticky
situation,
situation,
like when you've got to say to someone, I don't think you're on the
same level.
I think with that you have to be honest.
That's what
exactly, but you got above. This
is
how you create villains. You got to remember
also,
that.
I think you have to then
touch
give
someone
that
the wrong way.
No, but as a person who works with like loads of different people,
yeah,
I think you then have to give that other person a chance on a different tune or whatever.
Not even
then.
For me, it wasn't even.
This is what we're saying. Case say fuck off and give them their money back.
What are you saying? I don't say that.
You know what I mean? Case just tells them to leave.
I don't ask him to leave. I ask him to sit down, chat to me, And then I say to them, look, this is how I feel like you're gonna get better. The best one when I was working at Future Studio, so I think I can actually, I don't know, I won't say the name, but we had Dawn Jackson was running at the start at that time. Dawn Jackson, one of the biggest influences of my life.
She put it together.
She brought in a family friend to do recording session.
Yeah.
Like, so instantly you're thinking, I can't say nothing. This is the owner's family thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, 5 minutes in, I stopped the recording session and I sat him down in the studio and said, look, bro, I genuinely think you could get to where you want to be, but I don't think you should be recording at this point. I think you're gonna have more to learn from if you're just practicing.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to yourself and you're not happy with it, it's just gonna break you down a little bit. You're gonna be like, you start questioning, like, should I be doing this? And I don't ever want anybody to think that. So it's rather than doing that, I'd be like, these are the 4 or 5 points I feel like you should do. So then in 6 months' time, when we come back in here, we are good to go. We are ready.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you feel like beat making itself, because that lends itself to that, just like every day, you know, the repetitiveness, like getting up, I can get up, just make a beat.
Yeah.
No.
So I mean, because it is quite,
I'd say no.
Not for everyone, but like,
I'd say
some people can make a beat really quickly.
I'd say if you get to a position where you're making beats really quickly and you're continuously making beats really quickly, you need to change it up, because that's where I got to in 2019. 2019, I was making beats and I was making good beats, the beats where I was getting paid. But it got to a point where I was like, all right, I can make beats. Can I make music now?
Yeah, music. That's
certain people like step away from music. I can't imagine you.
No,
because I know you're a complex person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like music is literally, do you know what I mean? It's more than a hobby.
It's air. It's like air. I need it. I need this shit.
It's who you are.
If I don't do this thing, I'm probably gonna get sectioned because I won't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, imagine
funny. I feel exactly the same as that. Like, music is the one thing. Like, if I don't do it, and as soon as I do it, so as soon as I make a tune that I'm happy with, I relax for a couple of days.
But that's why I feel like that's why I feel like it's a duty for me to rather than say to someone, fuck off, you're not good enough. It's my duty to be like, you love this shit so much that I'm gonna help you get to where you want to be. Yeah, like, it's my job now. It ain't my job to record you now. It's my job to get you to a place where.
And I suppose it's because it's helped us through the hardest times.
It's also got me into the hardest times.
In a way, do you know what I mean? Like it's always been there. Like, when everything else is gone, your music's there.
People say that. I've been in positions where music has literally been the reason I've been in some hard times.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in some positions where I've been in a studio session where I had no business being in that studio session, because I was around people that were real men. Like, men that if you come into the studio session, you're not talking, you're not saying a word.
Yeah.
Because you're like that. Yeah, okay, I just pressed that, I repressed that. And I've had those situations. So like, music ain't the savior all the time.
No.
Hold on, what do you mean?
Like,
I've some gangsters in the studio.
I've been like, and I didn't know.
Well,
I've been
So what you saying? You're shook to tell them that above your shit?
Nah, not shook to tell them like shit, because they were good. I was shook to say anything.
Well, yeah. So
in case you say like, "Oh, can you do that again?" And I've been in a position where like,
if you hit some high notes on your ad libs, we could really make this work.
But I've been that situation. That situation
sounds alright.
That situation happened when I asked someone to do the ad libs, not ad libs, do the verse again.
Yeah, but you make people go one more.
Yeah, but you'll say, and do you know what I mean?
But in those situations, I know how to be diplomatic.
I remember Toddy, big up Toddy.
Yeah,
DJ
Venom.
Like, obviously, back in the day at Future, he done the Wednesday night thing. Remember
Wednesday nights, open night, open mic.
So like, anyone could go, and you only had 2 hours.
That's literally it.
Back. So them times there, you'd have random people putting tracks together, because it's like, he's from Earlham or he's from Mark, just different people from different areas. They just happen to come to do it. So you record nights, record tracks. You know what I mean? And but the point I was making is, Toddy could just like, Toddy wouldn't be telling people you're good or you're shit. Tony, but yeah, man.
But yeah, that's
you go next.
Because he don't give a shit.
It's not, yeah.
But
he did.
Yeah,
if he cares about the artist, that's different.
Yeah, because at that point, it was his job.
To get used to just being able to.
Because at that point, he was treating that as his job. He wasn't like, it wasn't like, to me.
More of a community guy than.
Because imagine being the producer, you got all these mad whack MCs, you know what I mean? And then like, it's that sick fam.
Toddy's a drummer and a drum and bass guy, so he doesn't actually give a shit.
But it's not even that. It's not like it was, because I wouldn't say perfectionist. I am someone who's OCD when it comes to music. So when I see someone like Toddy who's got his stuff ready, he's got his presets. So to me, I don't know their presets. I don't know he's worked for years getting those presets set.
Yeah.
So I'm just watching him do click, click, click. And I'm like, oh, come on, man, you can do more than that.
Yeah.
And then you sit down with him for a session and he's like, and he shows you, it's like, oh my God, you've actually accumulated this for years.
Big up DJ Benham.
So like,
he knows how to work,
so like he had his flow. He had it on Wednesdays. There was a flow. It was just, it opened at like 6, innit? It opened at 6, and by 8, you only had like 2 people left. Because he was like, done, got you done, mastered, mixed, get it out. And it wasn't.
And that's that. And that's why I still work with Toddy to this day. You know, I mean, I like working with Toddy.
Mate, Toddy's a legend.
You know, fucking because he'll bang something up quick. There's different level. I mean, we've put out stuff that you've spent months on tracks. Yeah. We've put out stuff that you've spent minutes on.
Literally,
you know what I mean?
So it's never the same with everybody. It's just different for everybody. So you can never look at somebody. I've learned that through time though. You can't judge somebody just from what they're doing. Because a lot of people, when I go to a studio session, when I'm like in an actual like session, a lot of people look at the way I do stuff as absolutely batshit crazy. Like, I mean batshit crazy. Like between 2017 and 2019, a lot of my jobs were working on hi-hats, just hi-hats and tracks.
I fucking need you to teach me how to fucking do hi-hats, because it's the only thing in hip hop.
But this is where I spent so many for like a patch of, if you listen to my music from a patch of like a patch of 2014 and 2016, I'm not joking you. You can genuinely hear the evolution of my hi-hats. It goes from just like normal to, holy shit, it's getting complicated, until, oh my days, they're now an instrument in the music part. Yeah. So it's just one of those ones where, I've forgotten what I was even saying now, because I was talking about hi-hats. I love hi-hats. Yeah. Like, I will go on for hours.
How much you put into each track, basically. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
You know, like I said, some tracks
I'll make in 15 minutes, but I'll spend 3-4 weeks mixing and touching up and doing little things. Yeah. So it's like, it never varies in that way.
One thing I wanna touch on is obviously I know that you've been working on something with Bemis. How much can you let us into what's going on with that?
We are near the end. We're 30 tracks deep recording. 30 tracks deep, but we're only going to pick 11.
You've just done breaking news with me, because I did not know that was happening.
Nobody knows about that. Only you've heard.
I did not know that.
Leo's heard 1 or 2 tracks. But here's the thing.
That's going to be madness.
Right? Here's the thing. He's only, I think, how many tracks have you heard?
I've heard a few.
3 tracks. And we've kept that, because from the first track we made, we're like, this is different. And then that process,
that sounds like a very nice little combo.
But the only reason that album is how it is through the processes I've gone through for the last 5 years. Because it's now, where 5 years ago, if me and you were the album, it would have been just like, here's a beat, you write to it, let's record it, let's mix it. Now it's, let's sit down and chat about the track, the concept. What we want to try and do.
When you're looking for somebody to work with, like a rapper, like, what do you look for?
Whoa. That's the question that every producer hates.
Because you can have
different things.
You can have so many different flexes in terms of, like, you can have so trying to be ultra popular.
Well, no, because it's like here's a way. Because with B, it was one of those ones. I sent him a beat 12 years ago. I sent him a beat, and I was like, I think we should make an album. He wasn't really feeling it, and but I always had in mind, I want to make an album with Bemis, just Bemis.
Because
for me, it was always I could get
That's a good link.
a message
Yeah,
through
yeah,
him
yeah,
that
yeah.
I can't get through other people. And it's not like because he's black. I've got multiple black artists that I could have gone with, but with him, he was at a certain age. He had he was at a certain part in his life where he could write a story that I wanted to tell.
Beamers is ill. Like,
So it's like, so now,
yeah, big up Beamers.
big up
yeah,
Beamers.
You know what I
Beamers.
mean? Like,
And I swear, when you hear some of these tracks, I swear.
he's someone that, like, ever since I met him, I know if B's on the track or in the studio that day, I'd always bring my A game. Like,
Yeah, he's a
Beamers
rapper,
is
Don.
an elite rapper. Do you know what I mean?
No doubt.
He's definitely
not just sick locally, but just like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, to be respected everywhere, and he's like, he's got a lovely flow. Do you know what I mean?
But it's
I love Beamers when he raps.
It's like the same with anything, but it's like with you, like with B, I didn't really understand how good he was until 4 or 5 tracks into recording. I'm like, oh, okay, we've got something here. The same with you, like first Angels is like, okay, and then the movement is like, okay, and then Start Trekking was like, yo, you ain't leaving my side, bro. Like you're my muse when it comes to music. Like if I need to work something out, I'm going to Ricky Licks. That's my first go-to.
Yeah.
And it's one of those ones.
So how many? So you're gonna pick 11 tracks?
Yeah. So you
made about 30.
We made about 30.
11.
We're gonna pick 30, so 10 and an intro.
Yeah.
So we're gonna really have. We've already accepted. We're gonna argue over this album. Because we've already got 3 or 3 tracks separate from each other. Like, nah, this is going on, and he's like, no, this is going on. Like, no. So we're gonna have a good old.
Sometimes
argument.
when people
that's
do
good
that,
though, bro.
Sometimes when a rapper drops the album and they drop a mixtape, especially back in the day, they used to do that a lot.
Yeah,
a rapper would drop an album,
but
they quickly drop a mixtape first.
Yeah,
they put one in the underground. And then over there.
It's like Nas purple tapes, mate. You can have the ones that didn't make the album, but they could be the best tracks.
But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the mixtape or the leftovers is better than
Look, I ain't saying we're making multiple albums, but I'm just saying that ain't out of the question.
What we're saying to you is make sure them other 19
get
put out.
We want to hear them.
That's what, you know.
You've already heard one that ain't gonna come out. That was that beat from the beginning. That one, because it gets to a point where you sit down, you listen to that, you're thinking, because I sat down with myself like, how the fuck did we not use that?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And then you listen to the rest of the tracks, you're like, okay, I understand.
If people watching or listening hasn't heard myself and Beamos, Kings and Caliphs.
Oh,
you know, that was half produced by you.
That was me and Meezy
Meezy
battling. That was a battle.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you what.
Dutch Masters is the same as well.
Yeah, come on. We've done
like no, but I've never personally actually thought about that. About the fact that them albums were half K's, half B's. No, I've personally never thought about that. But now,
Newton.
But you don't.
Yeah,
Galileo and Plato.
But you don't really.
Hang on a minute. Completely different time. I've accepted Plato and Aristotle.
Yeah, all right, boom. You know what I'm saying? Michelangelo and Leonardo.
No, but I've never
But you realize
I'm on all the.
But you realize all of those beats.
Sorry,
we never made those beats in the same room.
No.
Exactly, yeah.
Like and those albums flow.
And it's all dope.
But there's things like, oh yeah, with me and B done this track the other day on a Meezy beat, so you must be sitting there thinking that's dope, but at the same time, prick. Now
you see why I say
better.
Now you see why I
just took it to that level.
But now you see why I say.
Do you say that about do you say that about raps?
Like, I know how Case thinks, and I know how Meezy thinks, and I know how producers think. Of course they do.
You got to understand.
It's a silent battle, isn't it?
You got to understand, right?
Everyone wants to be the best, isn't it?
You got to understand. The first time I took Meezy's album, me and B's album, like it was the first, I think, 8 tracks we'd recorded. So I took it to B, not to B. So I took it to Meez. So we're sitting there, and I'm in my gangster shit. Like, yeah, we made that. Yeah, gangster. And Meez is like, this is ill. And he plays me something that you and him are making. And I literally, for 5 minutes, I didn't say a single word. And he knew why. And I was like, you motherfucker.
Because
I've got to go back. What?
Because it must have felt a little bit like...
Because it's deflated. It's like,
it must have been feeling like I was cheating on you as well.
Bro, every time I hear you and me, right?
We'd had, and you're just watching me...
Every time I hear you and me, it's like, so Licks has literally been keeping this from me. Yeah. He didn't show me this. Why?
I've had times where I felt like you're cheating on me.
Yeah. But that's what
I'm liking the track that you're working with. This.
But why is
guy.
it not me?
This guy that I'm working.
Sounds
with,
great, mate.
Yeah. Well. Do you know what I mean?
But that's where the level of greatness comes. For me, that is, I wouldn't be as good as I am. Like I said to me, I wouldn't have got the label jobs I got to if I hadn't have looked at Meezy's stuff like I need to up that. I don't listen to
it's friendly competition, but like you say,
to be honest,
it's also inspiration.
And in terms of Norwich hip hop, like obviously Liu is not new.
Lee's
I'm not saying new, but like he's coming
right.
through.
No, right. Listen to
no.
this.
But respectfully, what I'm saying is from the generation before.
No, look,
you and Meezy are like,
but let me
probably the most, and King Street Blues, I'd say, like technical with it.
But let me tell you why.
Actually, make different things.
Let me tell you why Lee's a dick, right? Because the first track I heard of his, I can't remember the name of it, but the first track I remember looking up Ricky like, who produced this? Because normally I can tell if it's Icky or if it's Meez, but this was different. I was like, who's this? Oh, it's Liu. What, sleep? Wait, what? And I was vexed because like, this is so hard. The drums was what kicked me in the back. Because I was like, this guy's a dick. Because this is my drums are my thing. Like drums, I will give you some bumping drums and nothing else.
Yeah.
So when someone comes in with some drum patterns and drum sounds and it's like, oh, and he's mixed this like this. All right, watch. Guess what happened? I went and started working with Bemis.
Yeah.
That the first time I heard his shit,
yeah.
I went to Bemis and was like, we need to make an album.
Yeah. There's a new kid in town,
There you go.
There's some little prick calling himself fucking
I ain't even
getting himself right involved in everything.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
Do you know?
But it's like I can create a level.
You have to start cooking.
Yeah, I can create a level of competition from nothing.
But I absolutely like. It's the same with on the rapping side of things.
Yeah.
In terms of like, if somebody drops something hard, I don't feel like bad about it. I'm like, yeah. Well, next time I drop
that's the
something
difference.
hard.
That's the difference. I genuinely do feel mad at because I'm like, why
I
made
part,
that?
I suppose.
See, he's nodding. Lee's nodding because it's the same.
But
It's the same. You're not mad at the person who made it because you're proud of them. You're like, yo, you're doing some big shit. But why ain't I done that? And then you go to the point in your place in your brain. Remember, this is how I started making music. You go to a place in your brain like, I could do that.
But I just think
could do better than
do that.
But you do, and then you show that person, and they're like, they're where you are. They're now where you were. Like, oh shit, why did I do that?
Yeah.
So then that.
But this guy's the best example of just building, like coming, the amount of time just coming back and rapping.
But that's what I mean. But but I'm guessing you do take what you hear what other rappers around you do, and you're like, I'm gonna do better than that. I could do better than that, or if not, I can do better than that. It's like I better up my game a bit.
There's, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, people. There's friendly competition.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's all, do you know what I mean? Like, different times of my life, I look back to music that I made at different times.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
everybody. Yeah, you should do.
I know I'm in prison when I've written that.
Yeah,
I know I was going through a breakup when I wrote that. I know I was living here in that situation when I wrote that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So there's that as different.
You can take yourself
but
back.
Also,
to the place.
like, of course, always try to be original, but you cannot not be influenced.
No.
By when I was only listening to Max B.
Yeah.
Only listening to Tupac. Only listening to Frenchie. Only listening to Wu-Tang.
And you can.
Do you know what I mean? Like
sometimes you can tell.
West Side.
What's what I mean? West Side Gun and stuff. Like
if you're a producer and you're listening to fucking Darren, like you're gonna make some beats. That, do you know what I mean? Like you be influenced. You gotta be careful you don't get too influenced. You know, you could be feeling someone so much. Like,
but that's why I don't listen to radio. I haven't listened to radio in about 15 years.
I listen to radio, but I listen to Radio 4.
So yeah, I'll listen to LBC and shit like that, but I won't listen to music.
Listen to a play,
I purposely, back in the day when I was in jail writing, I purposely wouldn't listen to stations that are playing new English rappers.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to hear it.
That's it.
Because I didn't want to be influenced by.
No, you got your own messages.
No,
you got your own stuff.
I'm still like that.
Yeah.
Like I say, I listen to Radio 4 at work. I don't even like listening to like all the classic music. You know what I mean? Here on Greatest Hits and everything. It's like, I'm not even saying, obviously you'll hear bangers and that, but like I don't need that every day in my life. So I like to just listen to like
music's
sometimes it is a bit like, oh,
well, music's the
this
type
is
of thing
grand,
you can't get away from music. Like no matter what, everything in life has music surrounded by.
But
it.
when you make it, what I just find when I make music, I don't want to be influenced too much.
No, but that's the
by
thing.
Outside, like I'm not into anything. Do you know what I mean? I want to just.
But that's how.
I mean, inspiration is good, and you know, an inventor, or do you know what I mean, a scientist.
That's it. They've been
inspired by someone that's
something.
going to make better shit because of that.
That's it. But like when
but that doesn't mean like from the radio. That's not the way to get it. I don't think most music producers would say, like even people collecting vinyl, or like I collect CDs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got a whole fucking boxes of Norwich hip hop, mate.
The thing is, what I found in most producers,
I've got a lot of the Ricky Licks collection on CD. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've literally got it in a couple of shoe boxes. I've got everything.
I've just found that as a producer, when you go into a beat making session, you should never, ever be like, I want to make this kind of beat.
Nah.
Because that's where I've been, like I've said to you, where I've been put into a position where I've been commissioned to make a certain type of beat. And that's where I've got myself in the depressive state because you've like, it isn't where it's supposed to be. So it's just like, it is. Finding your place in music is it's like finding your place in life. Yeah. Because you don't know where you sit. But when you do find that, when you find your place in music, you're like, yo, nothing else matters. Everything could go wrong.
I think that's kind of the most therapeutic thing about beat making itself, isn't it?
Yeah. But
is that you don't have any. When you just you start with nothing.
Yeah.
And I know you do it with rap, but with beat making, it's like, all right.
With rap, because it's like
that bit sounds right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can start
and you layer it up. Like obviously, if you write a rap, that is one layer to a hip hop song.
Yeah.
Whereas beat making,
the hair and
you're making all the other layers. Do you know what I mean? And
that's why as a producer,
once I started making beats, I was just like fully.
But that's why as a producer, you find them.
I couldn't believe I couldn't believe that I could make a beat that sounded that good.
Yeah.
Without, I don't mean that in an arrogant way. Just like, oh, fucking hell, that sounds
good. But that's how most fucking people get into music, by being an arrogant prick. But I can do that. That's literally. You should never be ashamed by being like, I can do that.
I play guitar. This like it shouldn't actually be that much of a surprise to me, but it was. Because it's the computer side of it.
No, I'm learning. I'm learning. It is the massive difference.
Never a computer guy.
I've never played nothing, not even a recorder.
I remember my first instrument was a clarinet.
Yeah,
a clarinet in year 5. Sorry, clarinet. Made my mum pay £200. Had 3 lessons. I was like, yeah, not doing that no more.
Yeah.
Went to the guitar. A couple of weeks. Yeah, piano. Next, saxophone. I ain't even touching that.
Can you play the guitar?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
I like every instrument there is. I can play enough to be passable.
That's key.
That's the key
I'm a
thing.
bit like that. I can't play piano, but I can play a bit of piano.
Yeah,
I can't play bass, but I could play along with you for a bit.
But that's why as a producer, I have a selection. I have a selection of like musicians as 8 musicians. So there's 2 guitarists, a drummer, a bassist, and a string player, like someone who plays violins and cellos, because I know I could do those things to a good level, but I know once I give them those ideas, they can just take it to another
Do you mean
level.
that in a recording way? It depends though, doesn't it?
No, I mean that in sometimes
enough to record or enough to actually play to a...
No, because when I tell you, I'm not going to put anything I play in guitar on a track because I know it can be played better. Bass though, I know I can get passable. I can be in a bass and be passable because there'll be tracks where you're like, "That's a sick bass line."
Because bass players are idiots, yeah.
No, bass is harder than the guitar.
That's not what you're saying. I'm just saying.
I think bass is harder than guitar because for me the bass is the lead. Like if you have a track without a bass, you can tell immediately. But you put the bass in, it builds it almost completes the track.
Everyone hears music differently, don't they?
Yeah.
It's mad. So I reckon if you've done like I do it now, but like an experiment where you just play this one song like that was bass heavy, had good lyrics, do you know what I mean? Something we would all agree with a good song, and then ask us what about that song attracted us to it, do you know what I mean?
But if you get hit by the bass, do you know what I mean? You
The
get
bass-
hit with a like,
Yeah, but the lyric, you know,
it makes you feel good. Getting
Thing
hit
is with
by
the lyrics-
a nice
There's-
bass
No,
line.
to hear the lyrics,
Bass line runs through you.
everything.
I mean, it's a vibration. It's
no, I know. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying different people. I suppose what I was getting at, it'd be just to
different
ask
people will be different things. But when I say to you that
Yeah.
when I say to you the base human brain is going to accept the bass is the most key thing. It goes for me, not for me. But, there's a psychology book about making music, and it goes from that book. It goes bass, drum, kick, and then snare, because you can make an entire song with just those three instruments.
Of course you can,
right? And then that song can go. Because I had it explained to me as in like if you, like I said, if you make a track and you listen to a track now and it's got all the instruments in it, you take the bass out and then you listen to it again, you're gonna immediately feel the difference. If you gave the same track, hear the bass in, but take a guitar out, you're not really gonna feel that much of a difference. If you take the snare out, you might lose the rhythm, but you're not gonna lose. Well,
it's still be going boom.
Yeah. So the bass is always for me. For bass, that's why I got a bass player, because it's like, yeah, I can do bass, but some tracks bass is going to be riding that track the whole way through. Producing is hard, is weird to every single producer. Lee might be sitting there like, no, it ain't the bass. It's actually the synth. So every producer.
I think you just have to like. I only say it from my very limited point. I'm nowhere near you.
But it's still
you
valid,
guys. Do you know what I mean?
But
you just have to just do what you're doing.
Yeah.
And like take things from whatever you're feeling in that hour or two, or even shorter that you're making the beat. You have to just sort of do it.
Yeah.
Like I just start messing with things, and I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, yeah. And no, it starts saying, and that's how you. And then next time you're like, oh, I know, I could do that next time. Do you know what I mean?
I've got loops that I made in 2011 that I'm now making into tracks.
I'd like to rap on
so it's one of those ones you never like. Yeah, you just do it, but don't ever like. I've always said like, just do it. But if you lose interest within 5 minutes of making a beat, move on. Just leave it, because otherwise you're just gonna be forcing yourself to make something that your brain doesn't want to make. And that's how I've made the music I've made recently, like not recently, for the last 5 years. And that's, I put my success musically down to me being stubborn. Literally, I am stubborn in the way I make music, and I am stubborn in the way I hear music. So if I'm in a session now, I've got enough of a name to be like, I think we should do that again. In front of, like, so it's like you get to a point where you get more comfortable. You're just doing it, and then you get to a point you're like, I don't care who's in this room.
You're doing it again.
You need to do this again, because even if you don't want to, we've got what you want to do. But let's just try it a different way, because you never know. And like 6 out of 10 times, a lot of times that does work out because it's just out of their norm. So
I'm going to switch it up a bit.
Oh,
so who was your biggest influence?
Timbaland, producing Timbaland. If you listen to Angels,
so he was your favorite producer.
He was the only producer.
Of course, I can hear that, and I knew that.
He was the only producer, because to me back in
you're talking Aaliyah beats,
yeah, bro,
Missy beats,
like
Magoo.
You can literally listen to Magoo, Timbaland
Magoo,
Indian flute.
Have you?
There was a lot of that.
The Spider-Man,
and he taught me how to. And
my love.
See,
That
album I was playing for an entire year, because it wasn't just Justin. I love Justin Timberlake because he's a great artist, but that production changed the entire way I thought about music, because it was just like I'd learned how to not only
Timberlake's
make music,
madman, I reckon.
But bro, you can make music with your mouth. Wait, you can make a bass?
Yeah, come on.
You can make a bass line with your mouth?
Yeah, the amount of times he's recorded something on the track, like, now this will sound boom. Case go in there and start doing something.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a sample. Yeah,
there's a
Case
track.
Make a mad little noise.
There's a track,
turn it
right?
into a sample.
There's
got
a
bare tracks like that.
There's a track I've got out.
I'm not trying to.
What's the matter?
What's the back? I said,
Fuck
trapped
it,
in the
go on, then.
middle.
Hold on. Yeah, he's my backy.
Yeah, come on.
I only just want to have a cigarette.
Hey, I said it on the last podcast. I think I can't remember if I did.
No, but I'm just because I'm where I'm sat. I don't want to get in the way. Look at the microphone.
The CBD hits you differently, but it's mad.
CBD's lovely.
See, I like being like normal here while you guys are kind of
yeah.
because you guys are giving me questions that I ain't expected.
It's actually,
you know the government are shotting weed. Like
Yeah.
my friend's got a fucking a card.
Yeah, I've got one can card.
So the doctors or whoever it is, he showed me the other day. He's got flavors. There's like sour diesel.
Yeah. On the
They're
NHS.
shotting him fucking weed.
It's taking the piss, isn't it?
Coming in like a medical thing.
Good for them.
Like,
But even when you talk about weed is a like. I have a relationship with my GP.
I think I'm right. I think have you got to go the only way you can get that is to go private. Is that
private.
right?
You got to go private. Yeah.
So at this point now,
So they're really privately, do
you know, only do you know what I mean?
You got.
So
Not
like
everybody can get it.
like
It's
the
a bit of a piss
style.
take,
At the
but-
moment, I think it is. You have to have like a disability or something that needs it to be.
Yeah.
And with
Yeah,
my
but what?
autism,
No, loads of disabilities will be helped by weed, obviously.
yeah, but they've got to do.
like.
they've
Does
got
it
to do-
just mean you can have any disability?
You know, you got your own business.
No, I don't.
Bucky's just over there on a rampage. Bucky's just on a rampage.
I swear down, check your pockets. I swear down, because I rolled mine here.
They're above. Buds and both hit differently.
Nah, because
No,
it's like
I'm
what
fine.
I'm saying, like that,
I was just thinking.
like what do you call it? Weed
Feel
actually like
bad now.
helps because I've had this I had this conversation with my GP back in 2012 when I was just been diagnosed with autism. So it's like I was like they'd done the whole thing was like you're severely autistic. It's like well yeah obviously
Yeah.
but
Obviously,
Well,
doctor.
yeah. So they would help this whole like conversation like what helps you relax and stuff. It's like you know what making music and having a smoke while I'm making music is possibly the best medication I've ever had because I don't feel like I need to be like get that energy no. I just feel like everything I can channel into music and that smoking helps.
Yeah, saying something is bad.
Yeah.
This plant that grows out of the background is bad if you do you know what I mean? Yeah, for some people.
Yeah, definitely. There's not. I'm,
You
yeah,
give it
ain't
to
for
some
everybody.
people, that's gonna make them anxious as fuck, and that's gonna be the worst experience they ever have in their fucking life. And like,
Because people look at me weird
know?
when I say that. I even in studio sessions when people are drinking around me, I'll just have a split because it's like I don't drink. I don't do anything else. It is just the weed, and that is the only way.
I mean, I talk about easing it in slowly. Pause. The way that they've just like the way that they've eased
slowly
the
and quietly,
legalization has been
quietly.
because it's you know what I mean. Like it's happening. It's on the cards. You got to think who does selling weed or selling drugs in general benefit. Do you know what I mean? Like, does it benefit them more to have it
It benefits the
legal
control.
or illegal? Now, let's be real. The people selling the weed, they don't want it to be legalized. Obviously not.
Which is what I never understood, though.
For like
I've never
government
understood.
and things like that. I just think that like a person shouldn't have to go and meet a criminal or a drug dealer
But this is
to do like that person should be able to go to a shop. Like
This
he
is
should be
what
able
I've-
to get booze.
yeah. This is what I've always said, though.
So
right?
the easing in
Well,
slowly.
to Amsterdam, we love the fact that we.
But this is what I said. This is what I've always said, right? The people who sell the weed now illegally and shit. I've never in my brain understood why the government wouldn't go in partnership with them. Because it makes no sense.
Still.
Because it probably is a stick one. Because you think about it, right? The only way the government are honestly going to make this work is by locking up everybody that was selling.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, right? How many people are going to trust the government's weed? How many people?
Boom. There you go. Or
they won't do it in that way, will they? They'll do it through like a lot of other places do with private enterprise.
And
It won't be government, state sponsored.
no. But what I'm saying is,
will it? It'll be
the reason why
all
it's
different
work-
companies allowed to set up their own little.
but that's why it's worked in America because a lot of the people who were selling it illegally just set up shops, so people could trust them. You already had your
That's what I
customer
mean.
base.
That'll be the independent. Do you know what I mean?
England ain't doing that. England aren't doing that.
Probably get on it.
Have you seen our lawmakers? They ain't doing that.
It always comes down to the moolah.
Moolah.
Do you know what I mean? It always comes down to the money.
Definitely.
In one way or another, that must benefit for them to have it illegal.
It's like it's almost like they almost want you to be a Nigerian prince out here.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Boy, I remember we used to go studio in Ipswich.
Bro, that's what I mean. It's like they almost want you to do those dodgy things so they can catch you and be like, oh,
yeah.
And then now we're taking over. So it's a
sticky one still. All right, so obviously you think we should be legal. Do you think all drugs should be legal?
To an extent, yeah. I mean, if you look at Portugal.
So I'm talking about the heavy shit.
Yeah, no, like that's what I mean.
The smack,
heroin,
the psychedelic shit, the DMT, mushrooms, acid, everything. You should be able to take that.
Because the thing is, you should take that in a restricted area or a restricted place. Like in Portugal, you have houses.
Yeah,
you have proper offices where you can go in. If you are an addict, they are going to try and help you wean off it, but at the same time, they're not going to give you those stupid like, oh, just go away. And they're going to come in. Because one of the worst things you can do to an addict is make them go cold turkey. People die from that shit.
Imagine like
seizures.
You know what I mean? So Portugal literally looked at it as it's a health issue, which it is.
Because there's this classic thing about like in Switzerland they done that. They had one park where you could do heroin.
I never knew that. That's quite.
Well, have you ever seen the thing when the government was
when they came out of the
government was feeding that guy acid, weren't they? What's his name? The mad cult guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Charlie Manson or something?
I don't know. I can't remember.
You know the mad guy. What's his name?
What,
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson.
Yeah.
He's seen all that. Like he was
being microdosed LED.
Yeah, some mad shit. You think this is bullshit. You start looking into it. It's like, wow, this shit was really happening.
They were doing it to their own soldiers.
They was experimenting with people.
Yeah.
They was giving them all these mad drugs and shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
And this is
they just step back and watch him make a cult.
But this is
do all crazy.
This
shit.
is why I have issues with humanity.
Thought he was Jesus,
bro. He really did think he was Jesus, though.
Yeah.
And how could you blame him with what he was they're putting through?
I'll tell you what, though. Has anyone heard his folk songs?
Huh?
Haven't you actually listened to Charles Manson's music?
No.
It's actually fucking lovely.
Is it?
It's fucking lovely.
I didn't want to say
it's fucking lovely.
No, it's kind of it's not what you'd expect. It's like really lovely.
It's folk song.
Well, I suppose it is what
it's very pleasant.
No, but it is folk music. So
it's kind of nice, man. Do you know what I mean?
You cannot listen to the Charlie Manson.
What do you call it?
It's folk music.
folk.
It's folk. It's folk music. But you can't listen to those.
Have you heard it?
Yeah.
Is it?
You can't listen to that track and be like, I hate him.
No,
you can't. Like you literally
can't.
About
love and all that.
I don't know. It's just like a nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's
just nice.
You listen to him, you don't think he's Charles Manson.
I'm gonna listen.
Yeah,
to this
you
shit.
wouldn't.
You don't think this man told these people to do this.
It's almost like Simon and Garfunkel or some shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because with some people committing crimes, you can kind of hear it.
You can definitely.
You know, R. Kelly ain't nothing but a number. Like
I'm trapped in the closet.
I'm that star up in the sky.
There were signs, do you know what I mean?
They were beyond signs. He made a video.
My mind's telling me no.
There were signs.
But
to me, like that to me is where humanity really fails. Because it's like my man made a videotape, bro. He made a videotape of him peeing on a chick, of a girl, and people were like, "Yeah, but his music's sick though."
Young thing as well.
Like his music's fire though. Yeah, but he's peeing on a chick, on a girl. Yeah, but have you listened to AJ9 by number?
People that love him don't care about
shit
he done.
They don't care.
Do you know what I mean? People who love him.
But you have those people. You have people like in every industry, every place, every walk of life. Like people still love Charles Manson.
It's all
people still love Charles Manson.
Hey, just on the regular, I don't love Charles Manson. I'm just saying his music was quite enjoyable.
It's all gone mad for P Diddy.
I mean,
it's like so many years have gone past because it's like it's getting to a point where it's like how long? 30 years. You're talking like mid-90s, is now mid-20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, boom. Who's the singer? Cassie.
Cassie,
got to pay out.
He already
like
paid.
Millions.
Bro, that was the quickest payout
but then,
in
boom,
history.
Then the bodyguard comes out.
Bro.
Then the other chick comes
Bro.
out. Then the other chick.
Bro.
But everyone's like, what?
Did you hear the Mace freestyle?
At this point, who gives a fuck if I'm telling a story and making some money? Like you can't blame people.
But that's what that's
the
what
bodyguards and all that. They know everything.
But that's where it's like when the bodyguard came out, I don't think anybody could be like, okay, maybe this is all bullshit. When the bodyguard, you're still getting paid.
It's definitely selling out. Do you know what I mean? Like I think brothers and friends I've been close to years later, just telling all their shit and jumping on about. I think
But this is one of the reasons why I've never wanted to be famous, though.
Unless that person was
because no, not even that, fam. You will get. I've seen it with my own eyes. You will get family members you have done nothing but love and give support to turn on you because someone offered them 10 grand.
What was the Kanye thing? He raps about it in one of his albums. His cousin nicked his laptop.
Yeah.
Or something, didn't he?
His cousin that he was working for.
Yeah.
Like his cousin was working for him. Can you imagine that?
His cousin took his beats for hostage
and then threatened him
and said, "I'll your beats."
Yeah. So that's why.
That's peak.
One of the things you realize.
His cousin. I feel fuck Kanye.
Bro, one of the.
Imagine someone holding my lyrics. Do you know what I mean?
Yo, bro, if you don't give me 10 racks, gone.
Regardless of in Kanye's case, that's money that he's taken.
But the thing is,
that's your creation.
But your thing is, you got to realize that was his cousin. So his cousin had no reason to do that.
Yeah,
no reason.
Yeah. No,
so when you hear stories from artists like tell you, yeah, I was happy being independent, but now I've got a name myself. I've got cousins I don't even know. Yeah. I've got second cousins.
How do they get in this situation to nick your music?
Because you trust them. You're your family.
A laptop. What are you on about? It's his cousin.
Bro, that's your family.
They've gone to nannies on Sunday.
You know what I mean? It's not like
that's what I'm saying though. What is Kanye taking his laptop to nannies?
Bro, I took my laptop everywhere. Bro, I took my laptop.
I'm just saying, my shit's fucking protected.
No, I took my laptop everywhere with me. Everywhere. Because you never know when you're going to make a beat.
Check my Facebook.
No, you never know. Gone. Hey, where's Teddy gone? But that's the thing, though. You just don't know.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest lessons I've ever took from music is don't be famous unless you're wanting all of that smoke.
Yeah.
And I don't want that smoke. I don't want that smoke with the friends I have already. So there's things about me that I don't talk about. Like I'm one of those people. I won't talk about my music even if I'm chilling with my boys. I won't talk about I've been recording in here or I've been recording over there. I'll just chat to you guys like it's just, oh yeah, what have you been doing?
Yeah.
What's been happening? Because I treat it like sometimes I have to treat it like a job. It's like, you know what? I don't want my friend coming over and being like, who's a realtor? Like, you guess what house? Guess the house I saw today. It was I don't care about that.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is why would anybody else care about that? So then why would I want to be famous? Why would I want my name out there?
What do you want to do in the future though? Like looking forward.
This?
But like music, is there any goals you have, or would you just want to?
I'm gonna tell you right now, on my mother's, like I've accomplished every goal I wanted by the age of 30.
But while we're on that, if you could work with any artist that's out right now,
Adele.
What EP,
an album, and then a whole other album.
Oof, that'd be fire,
bro. Because
Case and Adele,
bro. Because when you hear, because people like that, artists like that, right?
Adele.
They make you get better.
With a feature from Skinny Man.
You know that mad from North London team.
Yeah.
No, because I've worked with artists where I've gone out after 2 weeks of a session. I am better. I've learned so much shit just from being around
Adele. If you're out there,
by the time I get to that, level, she will be retired.
I wish nothing but the best for you.
When you're talking them big,
don't forget me, how babe.
That's
power.
You know what I mean?
Because you a lot of
as a writer,
mate, after
a lot of write them at a young age.
Yeah, a lot of producers like my producers will pick hip hop, but it's like for me, it's like I've been doing hip hop for fucking 20 years. I've been working around hip hop for 20 years. My thing is, I'm not a hip hop head. Like that's the first thing I tell people. I don't adore hip hop as much as the people around me do. Like, no matter how many times have you?
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, how many times have you said the artist?
Like, I'm telling you, the new rappers that's cracking.
Even the popping ones, I'm like, who's that? And I haven't heard that album.
Don't like him. Don't like him. Sean Case.
I agree.
But there's like one.
Thing, isn't it?
Yeah, there's probably one rapper I've always messed with without fail. That's J. Cole, and I've always told you that.
You've always liked J. Cole.
Like,
I never fucked with J. Cole.
For me,
couple of tracks.
A couple of tracks. For me, a couple of albums. But for me, it's like apart from that, I ain't gonna come out of my hole to listen to other people. Like when the Kendrick thing, Big Steppers came out, people are like, have you heard it? It's like, nah. why not? Why have you heard this? It's like, I'll get to it. I got to it like a year later.
Get to
You know?
it. Leave me be.
Like,
So if you could work with someone, it'd be Adele.
it'd be Adele with
That's
anybody.
interesting.
Everybody.
What about someone that's not here no more? So, like, if you could work with,
Again, it's not going to be hip hop. I'm gonna surprise you guys. It'll be someone like Etta James.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, so
I'm all about the soul.
that old
jazz
blues
thing.
soul
Yeah,
type
that soul. Like I grew up on my mum listening to country, to Michael Jackson, to pop, to Madonna. I mean, I'm pretty sure we had a Britney record in my mum's house at some point.
Yeah, but come on, Britney had a couple bangers.
Bro, that's what I mean.
Don't you know that is
what you know?
toxic?
No, but not in that. But her album cuts, she had some of the most soulful stuff. Christina Aguilera.
You know why that's dope? Because it's
Yeah.
written in Norwich.
What was?
Toxic, but Britney Spears.
It was written in Norwich.
Kathy Dennis wrote that tune.
Straight
up.
Connections, bro.
That's a
That's a
mazza.
Norwich banger, mate.
But it's like,
That's a mazza.
for
That's the
artists that
truth.
aren't
Look
around,
at that.
actually, to be fair, it'll be between Etta James and Prince.
Yeah.
Etta James and Prince, because Prince, I put him, he's on his own level. That there's no musician in my echelon
Yeah,
that is with him.
yeah. That's funny because earlier on I was thinking of saying to you, Jacko or Prince. So you already
Prince.
said because Prince was all round. Do you know what I mean?
Prince
Like,
was a musician. Michael Jackson was a banging artist.
The
I reckon
body,
Jackson
the
done a
body
lot
that
of-
Prince
Michael
ended up
Jackson
with.
done a
Do
lot
you know
of
what I
things
mean?
behind the
Like,
scenes, though.
I heard a while.
because of all the dancing and stuff that Prince would do in his performances. Do you know what I mean? By the time he died, his back and all that and fucking his body was fucked. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
I reckon it was the heels.
the heels. Do you know what I mean? Spinning around doing all these
Playing
mad
basketball in
fucking-
heels.
There
Like,
was
what
some
you
of them
doing?
moves if you had flat, comfortable
Bro.
trainers on. Is one thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is
But
it?
like-
Questlove.
Yeah, they fuck up their bodies,
No,
isn't it?
is it Jimmy Fallon says he like ended up having the game of table tennis with Prince.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? These are
That's
stories
fuck-
that you hear, like Dave Chappelle's famous stories of like having playing basketball. with Like these are artists. I'm like, when I'm listening to you, that's not the person I'm picturing. So that to me is why I'd love to sit down with. It's not even about make music with him. It's like, oh yeah, we'll probably get to music, but I want to chat to you about like, hey James, yo, what was it like being who you were in a time that you were you?
Yeah.
Because she was it.
And you are like, as a producer, I'd say like through working with you, you are actually like that.
I'm soulful.
No, but you even if you rap with Case, he'll go, "What are you saying?"
I'll ask you because I like to know. Because it's like,
It's like, what are you actually talking about? And
I
you know.
still think like one of our best songs, me and you done together, is between Black Shoes
no, yes,
and Star Trekking still, because that was you spitting what you felt and what you were thinking at that precise. You didn't come into that studio session knowing I was making that beat,
Yeah.
because that beat was made
Cool
with
vibe.
that beat was made for another artist the night before.
Yeah.
The night before, I was in the studio with another artist,
Swear
and then
we
he
got,
walks in and was like,
Jay,
but the amount of
the
beats
three
you
of
have.
us, the three of us, and Yank Ghazi, I think it was.
Can I just say, Yank Ghazi has the greatest rap voice I have ever
Big
heard.
up Yank.
It is up there with Nipsey Hussle, because
Oh, yeah.
Yanks' voice on a track, he's got that.
I
It's
do
just
think
got a gangster vibe to the whole
I do
voice.
think Yanks will make a hit one day. You know what I mean?
Star Trekking.
Remember them ones?
One of them ones right there, yeah.
She says I'm crazy, man, cause I'm from the 80s, man. I get high like aliens. I get high like aliens. She says I'm crazy, man, cause I'm from the 80s, man. I get high like aliens. I get high like aliens. Bro.
Yes, bro.
This could have took over the world.
Yeah,
Bro.
good though.
Because I talked to you about re-releasing it at some point. That is the next one. Oh,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
track, like,
Yeah, it switches up. I get high like alien.
oh, that intro is long. I remember that now.
You know what I mean? That's what you know you've got to buy. You just say it for a whole minute and a half.
good. Yeah, I've seen it.
I get high like it. I on that track, like.
Hey,
I'm on that track. Bro, this is a vibe.
We went to another dimension to make this. Like I'm an athlete, tax free, tax free. I'm on the track like I'm an athlete. Oh, the same boat, they can catch me.
Yeah.
What? Tax free, max free. I'm on the track like I'm an athlete.
Elbow
The
grease.
same boat, where they can't catch me.
Let it be known this is that straight up elbow grease right now.
Well, that's what I mean.
Pipes came in
When
different.
you
Gas
listen to that,
pipes.
when you listen to that,
Pressure
like-
in the pipe.
you can't help but fucking get excited because you're like, that was nice. Like, that was a whole fucking. That was a whole part.
On the hand piss.
It's like yeah, that whole section of time.
Wow. That was on. Let me get this right.
I think that was like 2000. I
We
think that was like
we had a set of projects called Space in Between.
Mind, Body, and Soul.
So we had 3 EPs, Mind, Body, and Soul. That's on one of them. What was that on? That's on.
Soul?
What was that?
That was him putting the thingy down. But that wasn't that Soul.
It was letting off.
But
Fucking.
but that
Mind, Body, and Soul.
but that project
put
is
out
still
3
one of
EPs,
your
that's
most played projects to this day.
Yeah.
Like Artwork, there's a track on there, or I think it was on Soul. Artwork with you, Beamers, and
Yeah, the views are on a mad one.
Mad
on all streaming sites. and
like
stuff.
that's.
that bit. Do you know what I mean?
But I figured that a lot of things, because now a track that I released 4 or 5 years ago is now getting traction. It's starting getting traction. So it's kind of like we were before we needed to be. So it's like if you think about it, the tracks you're getting traction now, we did those in 2013.
Yeah.
We released those in 2014, 15,
Yeah.
and they were getting plays then. But the fact they're still getting plays now from new players, it's just like it just gives my ego that little boost. Like, all right, yeah, keep going,
Yeah.
keep going.
Big up Hannah. We obviously put a project out. Let's try and list some of the albums we've done.
I mean, with
We've
Hannah,
done an album with Hannah.
Marble Theory.
We've done an album with Sleeps. We've done an album, the joint album.
Wait,
with
Sleep's one was the Pirate Walrus.
Yeah.
That was a fun project to make.
Do you know what I'm saying? We've done one with.
Because that was just to stop, just pause. Yeah, that was in between the part where I was changing my entire production style. Because you can hear from that project to the next one.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
Different. Because it's just like the next project after that, I think was one with a feather on the cover. White feather.
Yeah.
And I listened to the beats like, that's crazy. Those beats are nuts. Yeah. There's beats on White Feather that I want to take back to this day. I'm like, I want that back.
Yeah.
Because it's just because you can tell with Walrus, there's a track with you and with Sleeps that was that we made a video for. I can't remember what it was literally called, but we made a video for it.
Feel pain, feel the
Fire, feel pain, feel the fire. That one, that track was what helped me make a White Feather, because that was the last track I made for that album.
Yeah.
Because when I made Feel Pain for the Fire, I was like, I'm ready to do something switch up.
Is A Good Man on White Feather?
A Good Man, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But you want to know something funny? A Good Man was made in 2010. I made that for a record label and they rejected it. I'm a good man. Oh, that beat was different.
Bruv.
I remember when I showed it to you, like, mine. It wasn't. It was just, that's mine.
Yeah.
Because it was just like,
you see the video for that, bruv. We went to Blickland Hall.
Yeah, you shot that in the fucking. Oh,
and
the pyramid.
I done DMT. Blickland Hall. And
that was different. That whole video came out different.
That was a mazza. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So then you got Kings and Catlifts as well.
Funny video situations, when you're filming a video and you're just like, what the fuck am I doing?
For 15 quid.
So I always remember, I remember when we were doing, is it North Korea?
North Korea, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
North Korea.
We're in Sacred Beats Flats, do you know what I mean? On J Block or whatever.
Yeah. And you had you in a mask.
Streaks was dressed in like some army getup, wasn't he? Like whatever character Streaks was playing, but he had a kosh. Sacred Beats just goes to him. I'd put that away, mate.
Yeah.
I just remember.
So remember, Shawnee B was
like,
Trump.
yeah, don't be walking around the flats with the cost, mate.
We had Shawnee B
Shawnee
as
was Donald Trump.
Donald
right?
Trump,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who was King John?
You was King John then, weren't you?
Yeah,
I swear you were King John then.
yeah, you were.
Bro, that was a mad video.
was,
When you look back, like, what were we doing?
No,
That's a dope video.
That's a fat video. That's a fat track. That's a fat video.
Yeah,
But it's like
North Korea.
Yeah.
I'll remember that beat because
Honestly, but
it's just the fact we were all in fancy dress. Like,
The more I think about it, I've had some spiritual experiences, bro. On video shoots.
like, bro, like,
Do you know what I mean?
mate.
Three that I can think of. I've took DMT. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
What's it? Wookie Hole, is it? Down in the south where I done the video for Painful Smile.
I wasn't there for that one.
I went down there with Percy. Big up Percy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think you told me a story about that.
With Section Red. Do you know what I mean?
oh, is that all of...
It's on the Wookie. You know what the Wookie Hole is?
No.
The caves down fucking. What's it called?
I don't know, mate.
You're on your own in this one.
Anyway, it's down. It's proper
south.
down south. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's the cave where they found
Devon?
the oldest human remains in England were found in Wookie Hole.
Okay.
It's like hundreds of 1,000-year-old skeleton, but like, do you know what I mean? It's like you're just on cliffs looking down. You got these fucking little roads that go through, and either side of the road is just massive.
Oh,
land,
that'd be
you know what
nice.
I mean, it's like you're in fucking Do you know?
You're in another universe.
World,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's something
So
just
then-
takes over you.
So blasting off, doing something psychedelic.
That'd be nuts.
Well, I
as
have.
well.
That's what I mean. I done it there.
So you've had, like, well,
Done
you said,
DMT, that's when we had the vapes.
you've
Oh, we had the vapes.
had experiences everywhere.
Blickland Hall.
Bro, remember
Spiritual-
them
And then
outside mine?
did I miss something? Me and Measy, an old abandoned castle on the way to Cromer.
Oh my
This old abandoned castle, bruv. And when I say that castle turned into an owl's head, like the place was mad. Like just
That's what I mean. Like, some of those.
I didn't get that. I just got past the spliff. I thought it was just a normal spliff, and then everyone looked at me after I'd smoked it and went, "You alright, Bucky?" So what do you mean, am I right? Oh, it's DMT.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
you fucking what?
Yeah, nah, you had it. Yeah, you said you got a little taste. of it.
No, I got a
got
little.
a-
No, but I went home and was like, I was just with MJ. He was just at my house, and I was like
And
trying to put records on because I'm
just
wasted.
passed around like a normal Zuki.
No, this is before I got. But when I finally got home,
Being at them parties like that, cup of tea,
it got to a
couple on
point where
spliff.
2 hours later.
I'd knocked over my record player, but I just caught it like this, and I was like looking at it like
Yeah.
for so long, and
see the
MJ
energy
just
set
picked it
moving.
out of my hand, put it back where it was, and went, I think it's time to go home.
But those
You
are
don't wanna go
experiences.
through the
No,
door.
but they didn't tell me that's.
Dude, I remember the first time I had MD.
Do you know what I mean?
I had that kind of experience with MDMA. I wasn't told what it was, and all of a sudden, I was just loving everybody. I remember that. I will never forget that. I was hanging outside of a fucking 3rd floor window flat, cleaning the outside window because I was like, I need to love something.
Weren't it originally brought about for couples in America?
I would not know that.
Doesn't sound
that
like it
weren't
worked.
getting on using it as medication. Well, I bet it was alright at the night time. Do you know what I mean?
Well, because it's like stuff like that. It's
Right
like-
at the night.
Unless it's professional wrestling, I don't think MDMA works.
But this is why I like my brain, because my brain is as simple as if I don't like it, bro, can I grab one of those? Sorry, bro. Yeah, if I don't like
That's
it,
You man are
like
making
that.
me want one of them. It's painful.
Is that right though? 'Cause
Well, yeah.
I'll wait
I'm
until
just
the
saying.
day.
No, I'm saying. Yeah. Obviously, you can have one. I'm just saying.
It's painful. I know.
I keep stopping and starting with it. I haven't had one for
you quit everything, bro.
Maybe I had one with Frenchie.
You quit.
But then you got to
I'm
think.
so
You
proud,
had
like over the years when I first got to know you. Right? It's incredible to see though. Like it's literally like you quit one thing every year.
That's where you got.
The problem is you can still start things again.
You can still start things
Yeah,
again, but
you done 6.
You know
Like
what
you
I
said to
mean?
me about the booze, you've done 6 years without drinking.
I didn't drink or do anything for 6 years. Quit weed, fags.
I've done 18 days though.
Well, I've done the longest I've gone without smoking is the longest I've gone without smoking is like 4 months. That's the longest period in my entire life I've gone without smoking.
Yeah.
And that was like, why am I doing this?
But you got, as well, do you know what I mean? When you're forced into things, in situations when you can't do things, that
prison was
it teaches you, do you know what I mean? You don't need, it's just discipline.
Yeah, it's a good old vice. Like that's why I stopped drinking, because it was I literally said to myself, you can either drink or you can smoke. You can't do both. Because I can't handle myself on drink and smoke.
Hey. You can.
I can't.
Just get really fucked.
I'm one of the. I'm an addicted. But I can't drink. No, but I can't drink one drink. I have to get absolutely mollered. I can't drink one drink. I don't know how to do it.
That's the problem, bro.
I don't know how to do it.
It's tough, isn't it?
That's where the discipline comes in. So I said to myself, I don't drink.
It's discipline, baby. You're the user of
the point where I could fuck my life up. Because that's the most.
That's not the drink, though.
Basically,
it's not the
in
drink.
your brain, I'm like, is it 2 a.m.
Ready for whatever?
Is it 2 a.m. in my brain? Because if it is, we're going in.
When you used to drink, it was just a fucking nightmare.
But that's the thing. Like, I remember when you, because that's when I remember when I thought to myself, I might need to stop, because I was seeing a lot of my friends doing that whole drinking thing, and I was like, I ain't got the energy to be hungover for 2 days.
They get worse.
They get worse and worse and worse. And bro, one of the worst things when you go to a music studio to do a session for an entire day, and you're hanging, you want to kill every single person.
Well, since I've been
room.
trying to quit alcohol, and I'll be honest, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to quit drinking. I'm not that I haven't quit. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the only way you can get to quitting is trying. Oh, that's a bar. Write that down.
There's 2 lyrics that always come through. It's like, I'm so hungover, bro, and anxiety. I drink to cover my anxiety.
Yeah, come on.
And they just go through my head. They
go
go through my head. Yeah, smoke both to be a higher me.
Yeah.
But they just come through my mind when I'm thinking about it. It's like, fuck. Because I was literally there, and I don't mean it's any sort of negative way. Like, the pain when you just wanted when you first quit drinking, it was like, I need to get rid of this out of my life. Do you know what I mean?
I just remember when I stopped smoking weed, like, one of the things that it had always done would calm my nerves, calm my anxiety. Sure. But it got to a point where I never thought it'd get like that. It just started doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, I'd go to work or go out, I'm fine all day, I'm blessed. Come back,
straight onto it.
2-3 tokes, and I'm just smothered in worry and anxiety. Bad shit's now about to happen. And why did I say that to that person? Why did that happen? I think he's scheming on me. Don't know what. Just
But the scariest thing,
blasted down with all this worry and anxiety.
So the CBD is lovely, isn't it? If
it's non-psychoactive.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
I've
been smoking it, and what I find is you get a good night's sleep.
See, I get what he gets every time. Like, so last year I went on holiday, didn't smoke for an entire week, came back, first spliff, basically knocked me out. And I was in bed thinking, I'm gonna die. I might not make it out of this fucking sleep.
But when you have it and it's that strong and it fucks you up that much, that's like taking a class A. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But in my head, right, I know. So
you could see why someone like would take a jog for the first time and be like, "That's bad."
Yep.
Have you seen when Jon Snow smokes it on Channel 4?
No.
They give him like, and to be fair, they give him like a blunt or something. You know, it's quite a high
Bro,
amount of weed to give somebody, and he smokes it, and he's like, "Oh my god,
bro,
this is terrible."
The first time I had smoked weed, it was year 7.
Yeah.
On the way home, on a bus, we had school buses, double deckers, right? So we had school buses, and so we sparked one on the back of the bus, top upstairs, and I had a few tokes. I didn't get off that bus for 2 hours. For 2 hours, and I said to myself, I ain't ever smoking again.
Yeah.
What happened? Next week, go to a house party, get drunk off my little butt. Like, I mean, drunk to the point where people have stopped partying to look after me.
Yeah, come
And
on.
I'm like, so then you think, I'm having a time of my life.
Some more than others.
Yeah, I'm having a time of my life.
Still there, some of us.
2 days later, though.
Some of us never left the park.
2 days later, I'm still drunk. I still have essence of drunkenness in me.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I'm going back to the smoking.
Yeah.
Because I was all right a couple of hours after the smoking.
Yeah.
So it's just like, for me, it's one of those ones. It's which one do you want to deal with?
Yeah.
Do you want to deal with that initial, I'm paranoid, everyone's on the fucking and then eventually get to this is so fucking relaxing.
So in your,
or do you want to go to I am paralytic,
getting back to you,
and I ain't gonna function.
Just a second. So in your so I'm a plasterer, right?
Yeah.
So my normal days, like I get up, I get picked up at 8, go out to the job, do my day's work. What is your day's work?
My day is very similar every day. So wake up, coffee, and then the first thing I do, take my dog for a walk.
Yeah.
For
Lucy.
Lucy. That dog is more famous than I am.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I get people literally every single week come up to me and says, "I seen you walking your dog down the street." Like, yeah, you can say hello to her, but because she's off lead all the time, so
she's a beautiful dog.
But my routine is before 11 o'clock, ain't no work getting done. I will refuse to get work done, so that even if I'm taking jobs, I make a point to say, okay, I can't do anything before 12. Because I have such a routine, and every time I get out of that routine, I don't need to. I am not the same person, because for 10 years it's been the same thing. Every morning, wake up, go to the thingy, take the dog for a walk, come back, have breakfast, have a coffee, sit in front of the PC, go through the emails I need to go through, work emails, and then round about 12:30. It's a choice, and this is where it gets funny. It's a choice. I can either spend the rest of the day. And this is the hardest choice of the day. I can then spend the rest of the day working on tracks, on projects that I know I'm supposed to be really doing, or I can make a couple of beats that day. And that's the toughest decision of the whole day.
Yeah,
because you will sometimes. I've got tracks that I'll play at some point, right, after this podcast. But I've got tracks where we've been working on them for 2 years. I've been working with this band for 2 years on one track.
Yeah,
and it's not because they're lazy or they're not, it's because some days I know I shouldn't touch that because I'm not in the right mindset.
In the Dr. Dre Jimmy Iovine documentary, he talks about No Doubt. Jimmy Iovine talks about No Doubt, the band No Doubt, and he reckons they came back to him for 6 years. Like he fully was up. He was like, "I'll sign you. You just got to bring me the right track."
Yeah.
And it was sick. It took him 6 years, and the
Don't
track,
speak,
you know, what's thinking.
Don't tell me 'cause it hurts.
I really feel
Like,
losing.
That's the first time.
Come on.
I think that was genuinely the first time I realized I like other music that isn't hip hop.
Yeah,
like I really love it because I've been listening to
That is a
James. I've been,
brilliant
but it was the first time I was like, I fuck with this. And then Kurt Cobain, and then I started listening to Kurt Cobain's Nirvana. No Doubt got me into an entire different fucking section.
Do you have a favorite rock band then?
Linkin Park, probably.
Linkin Park.
Like Linkin Park.
I like the first Linkin Park album a lot.
I like all of their albums, even the latest stuff and shit, because it's like they've always had an element of hip hop in there.
I always say Rage Against the Machine just because I can't. To me, just the time.
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah,
Rage Against the Machine came. It came a bit after me.
Hold up.
Before me, sorry.
Aren't they the ones that went on BBC?
What did they do?
Oh, the BBC said, "Don't swear," basically.
To Rage Against the Machine.
And then he started going, "Don't." Was it Rage Against the Machine?
You don't do what you tell me. Yeah.
And then he's like fucking blind, and they just, well, they've just done what they were going to do.
Pan the camera over here.
Yeah.
Cut the mic. Cut the mic.
You know what I mean?
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of whoa, fucking hell. He's extreme.
War,
a little bit of, oh, yo, I didn't. Yeah.
Nah, but it's got. If you think about it, it's got everything. It's got Bob Marley in it. It's got like.
It's got that sense of rebel. It's the rebelness of it as well.
It's funky, but it's punky.
Yeah.
Like to me,
to
me, they're like the perfect band.
They're an anarchist band.
Like,
Kind of thing.
For me, Bob, Queen.
Yeah.
You know, consistent bangers for that amount of voice.
Bicycle. But literally.
I want to
No, but
they're all bangers.
So my daughter, when I literally
I'm a
got on a
shooter.
bicycle, not a bicycle, but like a little wheelie thing for the first time the other day, and I immediately put on Bicycle by Queen. Bicycle.
Bicycle.
I
And
mean,
she's there like
the epicness of the end to ride at the same time.
under pressure, like people who know me, under pressure.
That song is like
Freddie and Dave. Do you know what I mean?
That Under Pressure song has been near enough every generation has had its own Under Pressure version. Because as long as
the beat, because
of the dun 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 dun.
Hey, yo, stop. This is the
Bro, like,
what's the other? I don't know the other one.
You would.
See, this is where music is my bad thing, because I won't know the name of the people or the songs, but I
swear like Tiger or some one of the
Tiger's name.
So okay, this is an interesting producer thing, I suppose. Like when you look at sampling, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you try and like anything goes? Because like I made a fucking.
This is a good subject,
right? I made a fucking tune.
Yeah.
Out, and it's lovely. It's not really a hip hop tune. It's more like a melodic house sort of vibe.
Yeah.
But it samples Randy Crawford doing Imagine by John Lennon.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a live version. And I just had it on CD, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And again, like we were talking about, I wasn't thinking about making anything in particular. I was like, oh, that sounds nice. And then I obviously knew, I was like, well, this ain't gonna have any traction because the sample like is Imagine.
Yeah,
it's like literally the most famous song in the world. So,
but as you where you are now, I was there like at the beginning. But your relationship with sampling evolves and gets different.
But I suppose what I'm saying is like when you get to a certain point, like you hear the most famous producers, they're allowed to sample what they want.
It's not that they're allowed. It's that they got the money to pay for it.
But that's what I'm saying. And it's fucking annoying though, isn't it?
It's not, because like I made in 2014, I came up with a deal with Universal to sample Professor Green, not Professor Green. Oh, what's that guy's name?
Example.
Huh?
Example.
No, other guy, not Devlin.
Please, not Ed Sheeran.
No, it's a white rapper, massive.
Example.
No, done the track where he's actually singing.
Oh, what you on about? Plan B.
Plan B.
He's much doper than all of them. Everyone.
But what I was saying with sampling is it's not just the big people, because in 2014 I sent Universal a reference track that me and back then Adam Soldier Ray, big up Soldier Ray, me and Soldier Ray working on, and I was like, yo, can we use this sample? They took it back to their office. They're like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So it ain't. So sometimes it's just about, do you have the balls to be like, yo, I want to use this? I remember I got turned down for not Hall & Oates. Is that Hall & Oates? Yeah, I got turned down to using one of their samples. Like one of the Streaks is like one of the worst things I felt about was Streaks. Me and Streaks had two really good tracks that sampled Hall & Oates, and we couldn't put them out.
Streaks.
We couldn't put them out because I got rejected with the sampling. Wow. But now my relationship with sampling has changed, because it's now I like sampling to the point where, you know how most people will get a sample and chop it up and change it about. My thing at the moment is, if I'm thinking it's good enough to be a sample, I don't want to change it. I want to pay respect and homage to it by having it as unique as possible. There's a track on the album me and Beamers are doing. It is one sampled track.
What's the time?
It's like 9:45, probably. Oh, actually, I need to leave soon. My dog is literally just at my sister's. But yeah, sampling is like, the relationship with sampling is mad, because you can't be a producer and not sample in some way. Even if you're playing your own shit, you're sampling, because there's only a certain amount of chords in music that can be played in a certain progression, and you're always going to be sampling. So you have to understand the relationship you have with sampling.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. in terms of music, it's just music.
Music is like you're always going to be copying somebody, no matter how unique and great the track is. There's always an element of someone else's.
All the best
genius,
musicians have a favorite musician.
Yeah, every musician, without even knowing, puts influences in their tracks. Every single.
Have you got a favorite rapper of all time?
No.
That's good.
Normally
Good
like,
time to say Ricky Nixon back of the way. This wasn't it?
and it felt you. I don't have a rapper. Just like the same thing. I don't have a favorite singer. I don't have a favorite band. Like if you said to me, "What's your favorite hip hop? What's your favorite rapper on this generation or in the '90s?" I could probably give you one, but throughout the time,
I do. I
know what you mean, because it's literally right now for me. It's Millie's. I love Millie's.
Yeah,
and then there's been a Method Man time, a Sticky Fingers time, an Eminem time, a Nipsey Hussle
that's
time.
what it changes all the time. So I can't.
Ricky Nix time.
But there's been times
time where I like someone and I just fuck with them.
But there's been
you know what I mean?
there's been times where I take your music to label fucking meetings to be like, this is what I've done, because I was like, this is the fucking. Like, I was fucking with your shit most than other people's or other things I was hearing. So there's when someone asks me, "Oh, who's your favorite artist?" I can't give you a favorite artist.
Yeah.
I can't even give you a favorite genre, because it is like I am that boring musician and producer. Like, what's your favorite thing? I just like music.
Being into stuff is not boring, mate.
Producer, do you know what I mean?
That?
Like,
No, but it's not just the hip hop.
No,
Yeah.
That's the biggest. That's
You're
the
a
biggest
musician.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest hump you got to get over. Because even as a rapper, you got to get over the fact that you got to get over the rap, the label of, oh, he's just a rapper.
See, I find
you don't want that. You don't want to be known as, oh, he's just a hip hop producer. Oh, he just produces nice beats. Nah, you want to be able to be like, oh, you know what? That he can not just create good music, he can consult. He can talk to you about it as well. So that's where I've been in the last 5 years. It's just consulting really as well. Because like I said, from 2018-19, I've been nice. I've been comfortable. So I've been able to just work on my own shit. I've been able to I can tell you right now, there are over 1,000 beats in my PC made from 2000 that will never see the light of day. Because it was just fucking just oh, that's quite cool.
I've got one Bucky and Case tune that will see the light of day.
There's still a tune me and you done that I don't have, you have.
Sick.
That I do genuinely want to come back to.
Yeah, I've got it.
Because it's one of those ones where, like I said, I've got stuff that I'm reworking.
I think it'd be fucked if you changed it though. It's perfect.
See if you, God forbid you don't. See if you died tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, who would get into your computer? Who would know about these beats? Do you know what I mean? Like with them pieces of music, unless someone.
I'm gonna tell you my honest goal in actual life and death. Right, I'm not trying to be. I don't want when I die for people to go through my PC and my history and be like, holy shit, he done that.
He definitely don't want people in his history.
He done that. No, because for me, it's one of those ones.
Let's see what he was really about.
For me, it's one of those ones. It's like I don't want people to be like when I die to be like, oh, I can't believe he worked on that and didn't do that. I just want it to be like, I don't want to be known as a musician when I die. I just want to be like, that guy's a fucking cool guy.
Yeah.
He was actually blessed.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, you are a cool guy, and you're
blessed, bro. Because it's like at the end of the day, like as a musician, you can only go far. You can only go so far.
Yeah.
As a person,
like
it's limitless. Yeah, so it's like when I do die, God forbid it's anytime soon. When I do die, nobody's gonna still that like 10 years afterwards, nobody's going to know what I've worked on until the NDAs are over with.
Yeah,
because you like you must have
made the
NDAs,
best,
right? They have
best,
limited times.
The best artists, like, and I'm talking Italian Renaissance artists, literally didn't get any props until after they died.
Bro, some of my favorite engineers, producers,
who
never know
artists.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them were celebrities. It's like Michelangelo.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah,
but a lot of them,
the ones I fuck with,
not just chatting shit. A lot of them weren't
Van Gogh and all that.
Well, he's not Italian.
He's not. But I'm saying he was broke, weren't he?
Oh no, he was like,
he never really got to see his
didn't get no money.
No, he got fuck all money. He was down in Gogana.
He had like a load of
canvases around his house.
Yeah, he's hanging out with Gauguin, I think, at the bottom of Spain when he's doing sunflowers and shit.
Like, was the Mona Lisa like famous before he died? Before was it who died?
That's Da Vinci.
Was the Mona Lisa famous before?
No.
So it was only famous.
That was
that's what I mean.
When he was alive, he was a famous person when he was alive because he'd done loads of crazy other stuff, his scientific things. He invented weapons and done all that sort of shit.
It was only after he died.
But the Mona Lisa was only after he died.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, that's an amazing painting.
So that's what I mean. Like until certain,
it's pretty shit.
Until certain contracts are voided, nobody's ever gonna fucking know what I've done. Because it's just like there are certain shit like legally I can't say.
Would you never want to do an album like a new album like Case presents? Because I think this like I'm a rapper, right? But I'm like, I'd love to take like a young artist now. I really would, and just give him the, the things you've learned. Like
here's the thing,
I mean, like say like an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah, I don't think I could make an album
coming out who's had hot rhymes.
I don't think
I'd love to just go right. I tell you what, I'll be a manager.
I don't think I could be. I don't think I could make a project with a young person at the moment. I don't, just because of what I musically want to make. I don't think it's going to. So that's when I'd love to make a track or consult, because obviously when you consult with like people, you're not putting your musical thing in there. But I don't like. It's not even about they're young and it's just that I just don't think what I want to be said on my tracks is what they want to be talking about.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah,
so it's just one of those ones like, but I'll make a track with a 18-year-old or fucking 20-year-old, because why wouldn't you?
I suppose what I think is like it's passing down that little bit of like
the knowledge.
If they can gain that at an early age, that's good.
I can do that without making an album with you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
I can give you more.
Making an album. I wasn't like saying, I just meant like working with. Or...
Yeah, but I feel like I can give a young artist more knowledge-wise by not working on music with them.
Yeah.
But because if a young artist was to come to me and say I want to make an album, the way I am now in this day and age, it would take me about 4 months before we even start making tracks, because I'd be like, what do you want to do? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to say? What is your thing? But if they come to me, I don't know, I just want to make a beat. I'm not in that space anymore. I just want to make a track. I'm not in that space where I just want to make it. I want to make shit that is I can listen back to in 20 years and be like, yeah. But in my 20s, it was cool making those kind of tracks and stuff.
To be honest, I don't make anything that I can't listen back to in 20 years. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at nowadays.
No, I listen back to my stuff.
That's why it's good not to be.
I hate maybe some early stuff, but pretty much everything I've done since.
To other shit, you don't get influenced, and you just make classic shit because you're just making something that is.
Yeah. So it's like I say, I'll make.
Nobody can tell what's going to be the classic shit, though, either.
No, you know.
That's true.
No,
I don't care.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes you do, but then sometimes, like, for instance, Dutch Masters, we were like, "Oh, we'll do an EP together, won't we?"
Yeah.
And I remember Meezy just being like, "Oh yeah," and I'm not hating on Meezy. He was just like, it wasn't what he was wanting to do.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
He's not feeling
it weren't. He weren't feeling it. It's just he's like, it's not what he's wanting to do right now. So it's like,
yeah.
And then, but like you speak to other people that don't know anything about the process of how that fucking shit happened. They're like, classic album.
But that's the
you know what I mean?
that's the ilk of a producer though. Like I've said to people, there's not a single track that I've put out or worked on that I'm happy with.
Yeah, well,
not a fucking one. Like I've got tracks that I'm like, that's a fucking banger. But 3 seconds later, I was like, that hi-hat, that fucking kick. Yeah. You know what? I could have took that music, but I could have broke it down a bit better.
Yeah, that's why I want to get. I want to like on my producing thing, and I'm just nowhere near like you and Liu and stuff. But like, I want to get into DJing, because what I struggle with is just like the 4-track thing.
The 4-track thing?
Just having like, say like 2 records going on.
The vinyl thing you're on about.
Not just the vinyl. What I mean is the actual essence of it, or
mixing.
Yeah.
And mastering.
No, not the mastering. Just
you've kind of done it backwards then, because normally people go from DJing to producing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like the producing, I can get down with. But then
why do you want to go to the DJing part?
just to understand more about it. Not DJing different tunes. What I mean is being able to change the.
But I feel like you're gonna get.
Birthdays and weddings. Bucky's available.
I'm available for all bar mitzvahs.
I feel like.
No, but what I mean is, it's interesting to me, and because that's how it started. Literally, there was no rapper before there was a DJ.
Jimmy Savile.
Boy, he's the first rapper, was he?
That was the perfect sound for that. Wow. On my podcast too? Yo, beep the shit out of that, right? Bleep it out. Jimmy fucking what? My man just pull out.
I've just been talking about the history of DJ.
History of music and shit. What, Jimmy Savile? Yeah. Magic.
Because he was like one of the first DJs.
He was one of the first disc jockeys, but
was
still.
He, the first?
He was not the first.
I remember like he was on a hip hop documentary or book. I can't remember, but I remember reading something.
Because he was before. He was like.
Mate, Grandmaster Flash was on Drink Champs the other day.
Wait, wouldn't Jimmy Savile predate Grandmaster Flash?
Yeah, but he didn't invent hip hop. Jimmy Savile didn't invent hip hop.
Hold on. Who are you talking about?
Grandmaster Flash.
But why are you talking about him after talking about Jimmy Savile?
Because I thought you were explaining some DJ technique.
No.
Oh, right.
What I was trying to change the subject to is Grandmaster Flash does this thing on Drink Champs where he pretty much shows you how he invented hip hop.
Yeah.
Like sampling everything. He has the
See,
records back to back.
This is where
it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just saying in a good way. It's crazy to watch. Like
this is where I piss off a lot of hip hop.
And he was like, he goes, "Yeah, I worked out this." So the fact that you have to take a record backwards 6 times to make it go forward 4 times is because the records go at 33 and a third on the thing, and it's like a science thing, and you're like, what? And it goes on for ages. You watch it, and you're like, fuck, he did. He actually invented hip hop. Yeah. He invented putting beats so they went on. Yeah. And on.
We got to realize
the same record.
Every time someone pioneers music, like I remember the first time I heard Graduation Day, Kanye West Graduation Day. My ears had never heard anything like that.
Yeah, man, it's a good album.
Because it was just one of those ones where you just think. I sat there for time, bro. My favorite track was Spaceship. I've been working this spaceship. But when I heard that, it's like you can't help but start thinking, how long was he working on that?
The one that was off College Dropout. The one I done with it.
What were you singing?
Slow Jams. That was off College.
That was College. That was the second one.
Graduation.
Graduation Day was, like I said.
Is that the second one?
Graduation Day was the first one. Was it the first one?
No.
Late registration.
College.
College
Dropout was the first one.
And it all falls down.
I mean, Slow Jams.
Live a little, and it all falls
down. Yeah, Google this shit. Because I feel like he had graduation. Because you can't drop out of college and then graduate.
Yeah, no, it's isn't it graduation then?
Because you can graduate and then drop out.
I know you can say insecure.
There's some the Spaceship. You remember Spaceship? I've been working this spaceship.
College Dropout, his first album.
Yeah, okay, so it's College Dropout. I got it wrong. I've named it wrong.
Well, his first album.
His first album was something. Because what I'm saying is, like you're saying how Grandmaster Flash was doing the science of it, right? I can guarantee you, someone like Kanye was doing the science to what happens if I mix all these fucking samples.
Well, no, same on the same show. Oh, the Kanye one. He's like, I invented sampling things at a much higher pitch. You know, with all that.
Yeah.
And he goes, I was working for Rockefeller. We just started dropping the fucking tunes, and he's like, yeah, Just Blaze nicked all my shit. Do you know what I mean? He's being a prick, but you're like, he's fucking right. Do you know what I mean? If you actually, no, he went.
He wasn't nicking him. He was
Kanye
rightfully. Kanye
was doing that.
Kanye was lower down in the totem pole.
But Kanye was doing that shit, and he's like, no, I was doing that shit. And obviously, he ended up being like.
Yeah.
And I love shout out Just Blaze because I love Just Blaze, but
and then the graduation.
We're about to get fucking caned by loads of Kanye fans, aren't we?
I don't mind because, like I said, I'm one of those music people who don't know much about music history. I don't. I'm never shy to be saying I never bothered to learn about Grandmaster Flash. I never bothered to learn about KRS-One. I just listen to music. Yeah. So then when people ask me about, what do you think about how they pioneered? It's like, I don't know. And then people, I've had bare hip hop heads like, you ain't a true hip hop. Like, I never said I was. Yeah. I'm just making music, and a lot of my music just happens to be hip hop. But you're not arguing the fact that my music doesn't sound like hip hop. You're arguing that I don't know enough about hip hop. Yeah. So then that's where my whole brain started working.
But I think it's totally okay to make the music and not care too much about.
It's not about care. It's not that I don't.
No,
care.
I don't mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But
caring like a.
It's that I feel like spending so much time going back. It's like that's why I'm the kind of person. Back in school, I got kicked out of history within the first week of history lessons. Because I was like, why are we learning about this shit that ain't gonna help me when I get over here? You know, so it's like that's always been my view of history. It's like, unless I can literally take it and put it into what I'm doing right now, I don't see the necessary reasoning of going deep into it.
I love anything historic. Shout outs to the Sainsbury Centre, because like they've got things in there that's like 3,000, 5,000 years old, and I just love looking at it.
No, so this is the thing. History is great, but when it comes to like music history, I am a stubborn bart.
Do you not see a link though between things to get to Case?
But
so what had to happen historically, musically, to get to Case? Do you think?
Yeah, but knowing that, is that going to change how I make music?
No, but like the way you make music,
is that going to make me appreciate music more? Because I don't think I can appreciate music more than I already do. To the point where I said no to college. I said no to work. I don't breathe anything else. If somebody said to me, you know what, you should do volunteering about doing.
No, I'm not saying you should do. I don't mean it like in that way, but like the recognizing all the things that, like I said about the Grandmaster Flash thing, he literally invented the modern DJ.
I understand that, but what I've always said is like
he invented the slip mat.
Here's the thing: I took more lessons from Tupac's last album than I ever had from the history of Tupac's last album.
Do you like
before he was dead, before he died?
Machiavelli, the 7-day food.
Okay. Mary,
come with me.
Bro, I learned
fuck Jay-Z.
Right?
Yeah.
Production wise, I learned more from that from that because I knew what I wanted to learn from. You know what I mean? So when I listen to the history of hip hop, to me it's a story. Yeah. It's not something that's going to be like, you know what? Knowing that happened in 1972, I can now go do this in 2025 because that knowledge is now I was always going to do that in 2025. Yeah. But I guess what you're saying is I can appreciate the journey it took for it to go from where it started to where I am now.
Yeah.
I've never not appreciated the journey.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's like you can't love something unless you appreciate where it's come from, unless you appreciate all of it. And then you don't have to know all of it, but you just have to.
You have to be able to get down, in whatever way.
Like you can fall in love with somebody and not know a fucking thing about them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like this shit happens. So like when you can, obviously like what I'm saying is like that's what happened with music. I fell in love with music and I had no idea what I was falling in love with. None.
You can get by in France with very little English.
Booyah, Kasha. But
differently though.
It is one of those ones.
So what are you? Obviously, you got the Beamers project. When's the Beamers album going to be out?
We're hoping this year because we've got, like as I say, we've got one track left and we've got one artist to come through and go through the whole thing just to like sprinkle on top. But that's going to be out this year before the end of the year.
And so that's going to be out at some point this year.
Yeah, I'd say before.
What else you got?
I've got my own. I've got a couple of tracks of my own. I've got a couple of singles. I've been working on for like 3 years. A couple of bands. I've been working with a lot of band stuff because I wanted to move away from hip hop for a little bit and see what else I could do. So I've got some indie stuff, which is weird.
That's another interest. Sorry, I don't know if we're trying to wrap it up, but like, you know, working with bands like engineering rather than just producing like.
No, we wrote these tracks together. So we wrote chord progressions, lyrics. We all done, and then
so
they
very much a production like role. Yeah.
I literally produced these tracks from beginning to end, and with the band, they literally came in and added what I couldn't. So it's just like where I started off sending them a guitar loop that I made. And they said, "What do you think of that?" That guitar loop came into an entire song. So it's so then it's just adding bits from that. And then there's another track where I've been working with an artist from Essex, where I felt bad because this track was it's like 7 minutes long, and he wrote an entire track for it. And then me being me, I'll hear something, I'm like, that's it. So we're literally 7 minutes worth of lyrics, and I said, we're keeping the hook. That's it. And he was like, what?
I'm not being funny. There's not many songs I want to listen to for 7 minutes.
No, but this is the whole concept of these tracks is band practice. So they're all supposed to sound like there's just a couple of people or a few bands and
you just extract the best bits.
Yeah, sometimes like all of it is basically rehearsals, and you're just picking the best parts, and you're like, I can make a track out of these best parts. We recorded for like 3 hours. I picked 3 minutes worth of music. So like this year is going to be a lot more introducing Case to different genre, different people.
Obviously, you'll always be featuring on different people's albums and stuff, but in terms of your music, that's everywhere, isn't it? Obviously,
I've only got one EP out there at the moment.
Lucy.
No, I took that down because I wasn't happy with that.
Right, you took that down.
I took that down a couple of years back.
So how long was that?
Straight beef about that.
I've got a copy of that, people. Don't worry.
I've got a
copy. So
that was available for like 4 years, and that was doing good. But for me, it was.
How the fuck can you decide after 4 years you want to pull something down?
Because the EP I made afterwards just sounded miles better.
But do you not like think? Like I personally think, so even with my raps, like I don't mind that there's something that I'm not like. There's not much I'm not happy with. Yeah. But even if something's not quite how I want it, that still reminds me. And I want people to know about my.
Thing is, the people who want it,
as
they have
an artist, like some of my favorite rappers, I like the little imperfections.
Yeah.
On like Tupac songs where you can hear his doubles too, like the early shit where it's like not mixed.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about. Because there's a track on Bemis' album where he has not a cough, but he's doing a little spit, and it starts it off again. We keep that in there because it's like, yo, that's a section where it's just like it feels real. It feels like you're literally laying it there. So I didn't take Lucy down because of imperfections. I took it down because the quality.
Yeah,
the quality to me is important, and for me, the people who wanted to keep it, that got downloaded 10,000 times. Yeah. So the people who want to keep it got it, but for me, I've got something better for you.
Yeah.
You know, and then Contact came out. Contact done 70,000 plays.
It's hard
in the first 4 months.
Like you're proud of shit.
You're proud of shit,
but then you always know you can do better, innit? And then obviously once you get to another.
But can I just say,
sorry,
like, I don't know. I treasure my old shit that I released.
Yeah.
Versus in bars, King of Norwich City.
It's different though. You're a rapper.
Not really, because the production is shit.
No, but you're as a rapper.
The mixing is horrific. We didn't know what we was doing. We just
to me, like so to me, it goes like this, right? I have already got songs that are quality aren't great because I've made beats for other people. You like fucking. Other Norwich artists, other Essex. I've made beats that aren't the greatest of quality, right? So, and I'm happy for them to still be out there. What is he doing?
Looking at me.
I'm just trying to fucking. I'm trying to look at you, but you're looking at me like.
I forgot real camera.
Fucky's just there chilling like we're in the living room watching. That's good. That means you're comfortable.
That's what I mean, bro.
To be fair, though,
he's probably waiting for you to react. Like, why ain't this motherfucker looking at me? Like, I'm looking at him.
What I was actually going to say though is that I picked it up and put it in my pocket, but I wasn't putting it up and picking in my pocket.
Oh shit!
Is that mine or is that yours?
Do your thing, bro.
Okay.
Fucking but yeah, we're gonna wrap things up anyway.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Sorry, folks.
on a rampage.
No, I'm not.
He forgot we were here. He's gonna start playing out all his secrets in a minute.
Mate, I've been having such a great time with fucking two great guys.
Two. Who are the two?
There's 3 of us in here with you, bro. Like you got to make a choice now. You've got a choice. This is on camera.
There's Bucky. There's B, and there's Real.
Who's the 2 nice guys that you're with in the room? Oh my God. And who's the cunt?
Oh shit! That is fucking brilliant. That is brilliant. That was funny as hell.
Hey, big up, Case.
Big up for that one, boys.
And
Big up.
I didn't mean it like that. I wanted to say.
we'll obviously look out for new music, and then, as you said, hopefully later.
New music will be dropping in the next 8 weeks. And that would be just mine though, not B's. That'll be just
your
mine.
Instagram is Case Contact.
Case Contact.
Yeah,
That's nice and simple. Case Contact. Because it's just.
And I'm also going to be leaking, and I've released Case and Bucket's tune just because he won't like it.
Yeah, I'm literally trying to tell B we should leak some songs. I'm literally trying to say we should leak some songs. But he's like one of them ones, you know what I mean? Let them have some of that thing. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, shit. So we are. And the next, obviously, honestly, it's not going to be. Last year was the quietest I've ever been.
I reckon we should do another tape.
I didn't release a thing last year.
Do another outro for the year. Or have you already shut down?
What playing the track?
No, just do a quick another. Yo, see you later.
Oh yeah, I got to put.
Because I feel like we ruined that one. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I ruined.
What?
Done, no, they're done, Izzy.
Hold on. What's going on?
To play the outro.
Yeah.
The speaker needs to be on. It turned off while I was doing
Bruv. That's CBD. Fucking honestly, it gets me fucking cane, bruv. It's mad.
It does, doesn't it? It works.
Huh?
I smoked it for a month. It works.
Holding the
Gets
on
you
button.
tired though, doesn't it?
That's what I mean. It gets you tired.
I haven't had that.
No, in a nice way. It's
Right.
nice. It was relaxed and tired, but
What's going on then?
what to say?
Alright. What tune you playing?
I'm gonna play one from the album. And that one I played at the start, but we'll
Definitely.
change it.
Play that shit. Yeah. I'll take my hat off for this.
Oh, it's getting on my fucking phone.
Sticky situation.
Mate, I blatantly knocked the cab because I heard it. Fucking...
Am I going to press play? Yeah.
Sticky.
Any given day could end up in a situation. Man's clout chasing or living off intimidation. Man are on the pavement getting papers so they skip probation. Or in the station getting interviewed for information. Can't link certain man because they're into 18. Summer's peak, catch a chill when the winter breaks in. It's a cold world, you gon' need insulation. Integration, full English, skip the bacon. You need space and your ops just live adjacent. Start shooting like a series and catch a casing. It's a mad one, you will need Perry Mason. If you have sons, they will need education. The block's baking, buy and sell, beefing over clientele. Hopping out of Beamers with the Glock shaking. Cops take him, there's tots waiting to fill another trapper's shoes, so the cycle keeps rotating. For minor altercations, brothers wanna grab Lugers. I grew up in Southpaw like I'm Zab Judah. Before we baked cakes, we never had moolah. Every other day, there's a stabbing or a mad shooting. The hood's life, but there's limitations. There's love, but there's segregation. A bag of deprivation, suffocation of a nation. We need ventilation, isolation, and overcrowded accommodation. The blocks breaking, needing restoration, governed by legislation. Addicts and unsupported mental patients roam the streets, self-medicated meditation. Late for registration, getting paper is an obligation. Local spots where they dress amazing, blowing savings, popping bottles, raving. Every weekend is a celebration. On this occasion, miscommunication led to killers pistol waving, getting ratings off manipulation. Official men giving statements long as a dissertation. Mothers raising babies can't contain them when they're misbehaving. There's different ways to navigate this crystal maze. Grind and grizzle, mate. Flip the script and change, write a different page. For minor altercations, brothers wanna grab Lugers. I grew up in Southpaw like I'm Zab Judah. Before we baked cakes, we never had moolah. Every other day, there's a stabbing or a mad shooting.
Bless for that, boys.
Big up, peace.
Big up.
Bless.
Mate,
Gangsta
big
Hippy,
up.
done now.
Bless, bro.
Gangsta Hippy podcast.